Unfortunate.
Welcome back to the Wileyverse. We are here again for our Tuesday night Riffs extravaganza. Apocalyptica. What you want to call it. I am joined, as always, with Mitch, playing the Glitter Boy, Plato, or James. I think really don't go by Plato anymore. It's pretty much James.
I was going to call him James.
A killer. And the goodest of boys, Beethoven, played by Dayton, our resident dog boy in power armor. Riffs is a post-apocalyptic fantasy sci-fi on an apocalyptic Earth that has been flooded with magic, taken over by fascists, and ravaged by magic entities and creatures.
Sorry, Robert's married all of our dice together.
He kept taking yours. That was weird.
Actually, he tried to put the red ones in his pocket.
Yeah. Thief.
Never steal.
So, when we last left our intrepid adventurers, they were still on the search for Praxis, which also means they're on the search for the Vernon brothers, a pair of magical siblings that are running around the area doing do-good deeds. Not ne'er-do-wells, but do-gooders.
Do-no-wells?
Do-no-wells? I don't know. You had gone to the factory farm of Coleman and Touch, where you found it overrun with witch-touched creatures of various shapes and sizes. Tracking down where you had seen, or the flow of where you think the Vernons went, they went into a garage where they seem to have made an escape from this farm after doing something to a power generator. There was a destroyed power generator and then tracks that led to the garage and then a hole out the back of the garage where a vehicle fled in a hurry.
And we were tracking that vehicle, or we hadn't decided yet?
You were tracking that vehicle.
Okay.
From what I thought...
That's what I thought.
Yeah, what I was getting to was that you're still on the... We're just here to find the Vernons.
Yeah.
And you don't care about anything else.
We did walk away from all of the GM hints about other things.
It's alright. So... the farm was still kind of crawling with witch-touched creatures. But most of them were finished trying to do anything with you guys after several buildings collapsed on them and you wiped out everyone in the garage.
As I pretty much destroyed almost this whole little area that we were in. Well, you destroyed.
I wasn't sure how else to help. Come on, Glitter Boy.
And all you have is a big gun. Everything is just a big target.
Right. When you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Yep.
That was the pun I was making. So, tracking roll to see if you can follow whatever it is they took out the back.
This is me not handicapped anymore.
Yes, you're not handicapped.
Do I get a +2?
Yes.
6 then.
Alright. It's easy enough to follow the tracks. It's some all-terrain vehicle of an undescript type. You're not sure. It's not really big, but it's not tiny either. So it goes out the back of this garage.
I think it would have just been easier to say medium. I got you.
Out the back of the garage, it busts out the back. It goes through farmland, so it just plows where fields would have been if this isn't winter, and heads off into the countryside.
Let's follow the track.
I guess, yeah.
It is heading south, westish, more south than west. And once you exit the Coleman and Touch area, it's, again, just Kansas countryside for a while. And this thing doesn't go in a necessarily straight line. It makes some weird choices.
It's also kind of going back the way we came a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were heading northwest.
So,
and I guess we were heading that way.
You're all kinds of places. So Dodge City to Dodge City to the
Faraday
Orchard,
which
is right outside of Wichita. Then you start going up this way. Then you start going up this way. You ran into the path that goes this way. You ran into the fight, which you continued to go this way. You went through the woods, which continued to go this way. Then you got to the Coleman and Touch, and now it's coming down this way.
Okay, so it is kind of making
so it's going a big around, but it's like all around Dodge now. Like you're doing a complete semicircle around it.
I'll just make sure
they could be going to that lake that was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the other points. Nexus Lake. But you're not sure, and it does do some crazy turns. Like all of a sudden, it'll just start heading straight west after a while. It looks like they stopped for a while, and then they just go whoop, and then they go south. They skirt another one of those weird forests. They don't go through it this time, which I'm sure Beats is thankful for.
Seems understandable.
And it's about a day's worth of travel. If you're trying to keep a good pace on them, because you're trying to catch up to them eventually. When you see steam or smoke in the distance, it doesn't look like smoke because it's not dark. It looks like steam or white smoke.
It's like when we finally catch up with them, they're going to be back at the college. We found you.
And the guy would be like, "Oh yeah, they showed up like an hour after you left.
Right.
You were having a bar fight.
Like, hey, you guys tracked him really well. We were having a bar fight.
And they were already at the university."
That would be aggravating.
We tried to send someone to go get you.
Were they members of the Yeah.
Ah!
Just smashed a glass on the guy's head and said, "Let's follow the trail." All right, so can we do like an advanced sensor suite
Yep.
in that direction? This is a notice?
Yes.
Or I guess notice, yeah.
Yeah. Notice checks.
The dreaded 9.
The dreaded 6.
Well, mine was like 8. Reroll 1.
Oh.
Wah.
So, sorry, what did you get?
9, sorry.
And you got a
6.
Okay. So going through your sensor suites, again, this is large, open Kansas area, especially, seems like you're coming up on a farmland again. You can see some structures in the distance. It seems like a small farm. But out in the field of this farm, there's a lot of heat signatures going on. You're not really sure what's up. They're all, like, the heat, it's just the ground that is hot. Like, you're not picking up individual heat signatures, you're just like looking and the ground is like orange. So unless this place has a hot springs, you're not sure what's going on.
I know what's going on.
Do you?
I don't. Like, I do, but he doesn't. I mean, steam would be a normal kind of output of a farm, and if we're only seeing warmth in the ground, maybe there is. You said it doesn't look like a hot spring. Did you say it specifically?
Oh no, it could be. You don't know. Like,
what I was gonna say was
there's a lot of snow on the ground.
It looks like it might be a hot spring, which would be completely normal for something like. Something looks out of the ordinary, except for that we don't have any.
They have a heated pool and a hot tub out in the field.
Well, there's no movement again, right? We don't see any people or anything, so it's another quiet place. I think we should approach with caution again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should sneak up and you guys can post me like we did last time. That was pretty effective. And then move around.
Is there anywhere to one? Not sure how much sneaking we can do, but is there anything in like covering our approach?
There's a couple
pretty wide
decorative trees here and there, like and that's mainly on the farmstead itself. So the farmstead has a farmhouse, what seems to be like a garage, a separate garage for larger vehicles. Where they'd probably park the tractor or whatever they use to harvest or do whatever. A workshop, standalone little area. It has a barn, and it has several granaries. It looks like at least 2 long domed buildings for separate grain storage. There's probably about 8 fields surrounding this. There's like almost everything around it is just farmland, big fields set up to multiple areas. You see, some of them have their own little independent like watering, like the big watering systems in them and all that kind of stuff. There's a fence around the entire property in between a couple of the fields, but there's nothing that's really covering except for that one field that has that water system.
Well, why don't we get someplace where I'm within firing range but not get any closer? Because you guys could probably sneak in quite a bit. We might be able to avoid everything that we had to deal with last time. Or we can just go in and do it like we did last time. I'll just blow everything up.
No, your idea is not bad. I just, every time you say sneak, you gotta remember, like, I'm in power armor now.
You can't get out of it.
I could still roll an amazing stealth roll, I guess, but I have penalties at this point, right?
Or we could scout Shawnee.
She can turn invisible and fly if you want to use her magic that way.
Well, what are we trying to scout out? Just all the buildings and stuff, or just
the last place we looked at didn't look that bad. Everything looked like it was in place. Everything seemed fine until we got closer, and it looked like it was pocked up. It was blown to pieces, and it was immediate that nothing was there. And then everything started to wake up once we got there. Mm-hmm. What we're seeing now is a warmth under the ground, which isn't super unnatural, but as we get closer, if we notice the pock marks and stuff like that, we're probably going to be encountering the same kind of thing, which we handled fine. I think we did okay in the battle, but if we, avoiding battle is always preferable.
Yeah. Do we can we see at all which way the tracks go through this area?
Yeah, they eventually meet up with an actual path, road that goes into the Vernon farm. So
this is the Vernon farm then.
Yeah. When you get close enough, there's signs on the fences say Vernon Farm.
This must be a safe place then, right?
Now I really know it's underground. But I can't act out. Can we... So I guess I would ask them... Can Sugar zoom in a little farther and see if we see any of that familiar pocking we saw the last time, the battle damage and stuff like that? Can we zoom in?
Yep, she's saying she's doing all the image analysis she can from this range, and she's not seeing any signs of distress or, just looks like normal wear and tear on a farm. Well, then, no recent signs of conflict.
Well, then it might not be that bad. The Vernons were technomancers and leyline walkers. This farm might be running itself with minimal employee. And if we're not seeing any battle, it might make sense to kind of show up front and at least ring the doorbell.
Yeah, let's just walk on up.
All right.
I wasn't being
no, not at all. It sounds better now that we know it's Vernon Farm and that there's no signs of battle. And like I said, techno wizards can run their farm automatically almost. So let's give it a shot.
Now, the first thing you notice is that this place doesn't look like it was set up like the other farms you've been to. It doesn't have the nice power pole setups and all that. A lot of it looks more not automated, not powered, or completely jury-rigged.
That's right. Uncle didn't like that shit. I forgot about that. we were disaligned with
power and water.
Yeah,
yep.
Power and water.
Because you had Techno Wizard Joe, and you'll do it your damn self.
Yeah, right.
So, heading up there, there's not a whole lot of the automation and other conveniences that you saw on other farms as you pass through this countryside. There are some other oddities, but they look completely like slapped together. Whatever. So there's like the gate has a car transmission next to it, and you just rev it up to power the gate open and closed. In you go down the road. Nothing really comes out or jumps at you. Let's see. The field is the closest field to the farm. The field that's heated. So you're just seeing the ground is steaming. There's no snow. Like basically, there's a hole in the snow where whatever is heating up that ground is melting it all.
Is anything growing out of the...
There's the remnants of what used to be a cornfield. It's winter, so there's nothing planted there at the moment.
I think it'd be safe to say we don't actually walk over that part of the field.
So the garage, the doors are open on the garage. You also see the signs of lots of track through here. You completely lose the track of the vehicle. There's just a lot of daily motion coming in and out of here with vehicles and tractors and treads and whatever else is coming in and out of that garage and barns and whatever.
So it's fresh, sort of.
It seems there's a lot of fresh stuff going on there. There's no snow on the ground on the roadways or the main grounds because it's all been trampled down.
It's not heated like the field, so it's just trampled. Okay, cool.
There's also, like, in front of the door, there is like a metal pole posted, and this, like, it seems odd, and this is the door to the farmhouse. It's like 10 feet in front of the door, metal pole, and what seems to be a scarecrow, but made out of mechanical parts.
I don't know about you, Beats, but anything mechanical in a Techno Wizard farm makes me nervous. Maybe we should try to talk to it.
I know, it's the worst that could happen. You have to shoot it?
Shoot it and the farmhouse and the workshop behind it.
The scarecrow is decimated, as well as the grain storehouse behind it. All right, well, hey, wave at the scarecrow. Give it a second.
So you're walking up.
Yeah,
and it's a farmhouse. It's a nice, older wooden farmhouse. Very, very rustic. It's been
Mm-hmm.
painted the white with a green roof and all that stuff. Seems like it gets a fresh coat of paint every couple of years.
It's very nice.
But as you walk up, in true riffs and Techno Wizard fashion, the scarecrow comes to life.
The scarecrow is what I was saying hi to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay.
So in like just as you expected,
All right.
it kind of like you walk up and it does a little like dance kind of thing, and it's like, "Howdy, folks! The Vernons ain't here. I'm supposed to tell you that they're not coming back for a while. Why don't you tell me who you are?"
Well, I mean, can we skinny kind of some basic information that we're from the college and we're looking for them and we're tracking a friend?
Why don't you tell me who you are?
Jesus Christ. I'm James McKellar. People call me Plato. This is Beethoven Dogboy. People call him Beats. And this
Why
is...
don't you tell me who you are?
Son of a bitch. I'm done with this thing. Like, already.
In player knowledge, I bet you know exactly what you could say to this thing to make it talk to you. But it's not your knowledge.
Yeah. So I've told it who I was already. And
it keeps interrupting you. It's not, you're not saying what it wants to hear.
Yeah. Friends.
Do you say friends?
Yeah.
Friends of who?
Thaddeus and Percival Vernon.
Friends of who?
Son of a bitch. Friends of the Vernon Farm.
Friends of who?
What are their names? What are the owners' names? I don't think we ever got that. You want to try talking to it, Beats? I'm sure we loop it for a while.
Yeah.
It won't leave us alone.
Well, if you have nothing else to say after friend, after it says "Friends for who" 3 times, it says well, if you ain't friends of Praxis, then you must be a witch or some bandit scum. Enjoy hot lead. And it starts to heat up and just goes, throws hot molten lead from itself towards you, and it independently targets everybody that's in front of it.
Splashing, yeah.
So it's just like,
Friends of who?
damn it!
Well, I couldn't say
No,
it.
you couldn't say it.
I don't know that keyword. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I know what's underneath, what's heating the yard. I actually know Granddad or Uncle and Aunt Vernon's names. I know them. I wrote them. I made that stupid show.
Grandpappy. Well, it's father.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? So, okay. So Mom went over the rainbow
That was
and
her
never
brother,
came back.
I thought, wasn't it?
Was
it her parents?
Yeah. Mom went over the rainbow.
What were we? I thought we were staying. We were staying with our grandparents, or were we staying with my uncle?
That's the question, because like I know where your mom went.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom went over the rainbow and never came back. She went up on the rise.
I thought we were staying with her folks.
But I don't know if you were. I thought Daddy went insane and drank himself either to death or into the insane asylum at Dodge City.
I think
so. You were staying with.
We're staying with her folks.
With the grandparents.
That's right. We were staying with her folks. That's correct. Yep.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, this thing's blowing up.
The only thing I would have known was if I had thought about it, what to say. Friends of. That's the only thing I could have possibly known.
Was what?
The friends with who?
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about that. I was like, why would their farm have any knowledge of?
I knew what it wanted me to say, but it didn't make any sense
For you to say
James. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
If you would have like started talking, it was like, we're looking for Praxis, it would have done another cue.
Yeah, I just.
But you didn't go that way.
Yeah, we were searching for the Percival boys to look for Praxis.
All right, so you get hit with a raise.
Ugh.
You get hit, and Shawnee gets missed.
Is there any kind of like no dodging or?
No, I mean it's just going off your
hands.
shooting defense. So I mean, you're a pretty big target.
Yeah, I'm holding my arms. I just make my arms get burned.
It'll take a lot to actually hurt you.
What kind of AP does this thing have?
Nothing. It's plasma, so it would have like done some real damage to Shawnee because she's just not armored up.
Yeah.
But it would have to stage a lot to do any damage to you guys.
Which it does.
No.
Okay, I thought you reached your hand into like a re-roll. I was like, oh shit.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, nothing. So I mean, this thing like it seemed like super hot, and then like when it detonates, something magical goes into effect because it just like drains itself. Every bit of metal on that thing turns to molten plasma and blasts itself out at you, and then there's nothing there. There's no parts, no pole, no nothing left of where that scarecrow was.
Vernon's a little more formidable than I remember.
He's seen some shit.
Yeah. It's like what is it? Reboot in the second season when Ezio's got like the aiming eye. You remember the cartoon Reboot? No. Oh, okay.
That was a little bit past my.
It was actually
time.
Before your time.
No.
Oh no, it was.
It was past my
were
time.
older,
I
that's right.
remember.
You were too old.
Yeah,
right.
like I remember they coming on going, "Wow, this looks terrible." And
Yeah.
like
And you were probably too
Saturday
young for
mornings,
Reboot.
cartoons suck now.
Which one was Reboot?
Reboot was
were
the
all
first
the-
computer animated.
All the characters
TV
were
series,
living
cartoon.
inside of somebody's
Yeah,
computer. They were all the NPCs.
Most of them were green.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were all NPCs. So they were always trying to beat the player, like the person who owned the computer. They were the
Yeah, I
actual video
remember
game players,
Reboot.
which is really shitty because either the guy that owned the computer was really bad at computer games, or his computer was kicking his ass all the time. And he probably doesn't like video games anymore.
Aw.
But in the second season, at the end of it, the first one, Bob gets pulled into the internet. At the beginning of the second one, some time has gone by, and his son is like older now and has like a laser tracking eye, so he could like shoot bullets and they would go where his eye had already like locked onto stuff. The bad guys had changed and become way more awesome. And then like the third or fourth episode in, Bob comes back and you're like, this smells so great. And then it stopped after like 2 seasons.
They rebooted Reboot.
They did. The
Modern-
reboot, yeah. I didn't see it though. But anyway, sorry.
All right, so that happens. You start to hear some weird chittering sounds from the field where the heat's coming from. After that goes off.
I think after something shitty like that, I would probably turn and lock in. So if we're not in combat, is that considered like a free action?
Yeah, it's like it takes as much time as an action. But if I was like, you can't
things are attacking you. Okay.
Like you can't beat me to the things are. I'm not kidding.
No,
like,
no,
like,
I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah,
no, totally.
But I'm just like, it's.
Yeah, okay.
You just tell me when you do it, when you don't, when we're not in turn base.
I'd probably say movement. Should there see something in the field?
She's like, I see areas of hotness. It looks like something's bubbling up to the surface.
Hotness. I attack the hotness.
And it's like, I mean, you're seeing like it's like the base level is orange on the spectrum, but you start to see yellow, like like little yellow blobs here and there on the surface area through your thermographic vision. What are you doing?
I mean, if he's turning looking that way, I guess I'm also at least turning around and looking that direction.
Okay.
Shawnee, you ever seen anything like this?
Nope. And she armors up. What, do we talk about the scarecrow or what's in the field?
The field. I feel like that's already over with. We never saw anything like that before either. What about that?
Nope.
It's a good point, though. You ever seen anything like that? So what the fuck's going on?
Probably techno-wizard fuckery.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, she armors up, gets her sword out. And that's when you see... sort of like resolves it outside of the thermal vision, but you see like snouts, like little snouts with teeth.
This is what I
But they're
Yeah, that's exactly what you think it is.
magma wombats.
It's magma wombats.
Witch touched magma wombats. So they're black and they have 6 glowing magma eyes.
For those at home wondering why we're snickering, the first time we ever played Rifts was like almost 2 years ago at this point. What, a year and a half, whatever. I had never played a role-playing game before, and I was curious after we'd made characters what combat looked like. So Wiley put a quick little interaction together, and you hadn't played a tabletop.
Not really.
Not really. So
No.
the two of us put our old characters together to fight a creature that we hadn't seen before, and it turned out being magma wombats.
There were magma wombats in the Vernon's cornfield. You needed to go take care of them.
That's what we were doing in our very, very first encounter ever. So now
We thrashed them.
You also burned down the
also thrashed the farm. Yeah.
Fire.
Luckily, we have no attachment to the farm this time, so there's no worry about thrashing it. But you dug like what, a 3-foot trench with your chainsaw with your first miss or something like that.
You guys miss.
Yeah. And then
I was trying to teach you how to make your devices and things like that.
I made everything worse. Yeah, I like set a bunch of stuff on fire.
So it was fun times.
It was good.
Well, you
Good
had
times.
like your whatever shotgun at that point. That
Yeah.
was
Right.
useful.
Well, guess what we've got now? We've got all kinds of stuff. We got an arsenal. All right, so
All right. So they stick their heads up, and it's time. It's time to get down to it.
you can't decide what I like better when you tell us it's time or when you just start shuffling.
When I just start, like over here. Bandolier. Ace and 9.
What? I get to go first.
Oh,
Maybe.
this means bad
It's
things
diamonds.
for us.
That means that everybody gets something really high. What is this
Normally
thing?
when you pull high cards, that means we tend to lose fights.
Queen 8-3. Joker.
Hey, Shawnee, coming through.
Wow. And a 2.
Fuck them wombats.
We're gonna pretend like I know what I'm doing over here with these cards stacking.
Hey, it withstood.
All right. Shawnee's not going right off the bat, so you're already planted. You're facing that area.
Damn, I'm ready for. I knew it.
Well,
That was some adaptive player knowledge. My bad, but I mean,
No, you
we were confused.
you got
already.
attacked and you heard noises.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing. So I mean, can I pick out individual shapes there?
you can pick out the orange mounds. You can see some of like I mean, on the field of white around, like the snow around and the frozen ground, and then the heat, steam coming off. It's really contrasting black. Like these things are like looking into shadow.
Can Sugar give me a rough estimate on numbers?
Your thing's a medium Burston plate. You can gouge out half that entire surface area.
That's what I'm getting at. So let's
You're just
aim
gonna
it
go.
deep. Yeah, let's get it in there.
Because I know they should be all kind of clumped together at this point. They haven't had time to really spread out.
So 9.
Texas Ties 2-4,
Is
good
that
buddy.
6 or a 9? It's a 6. Ah, damn it, 6. There we go.
And you only need a 4 to hit. So
Nah, that'll work.
Time to roll damage is
Pardon me.
what is this number? +4 or something?
+6. So that's not good. I'm gonna re-roll that. That's horrible. That's atrocious. It's the lowest roll I ever had. 18. That's 4d12s. Muchos petras. 29, so 35 AP 25.
yeah, okay. So you dig a trench right through this cornfield. A huge clod of earth comes up. A lot of it is smoldering and molten almost. Molten earth and dirt. You're pretty sure, by Sugar's accounting, that at least 3 to 4 of the forms that she saw are now no longer visible. So you got at least that many. But
Did you see that?
like you dig a trench that starts, just starts as like this, and then it goes to like a 5-foot deep trench through this cornfield. The boom gun echoes across the farm. Crows flap up from different fields and such.
That's how you dig irrigation. Sugar, turn off the low ammo counter. Yeah.
alright.
Just aim next to where I shot.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna grab only 3 d10s because I'm
Grenade
gonna
launcher?
shoot some high explosive grenades.
Ooh.
Okay, and you can try to get the other half of the hole.
Yeah, so I mean, since we're just blowing shit up, sounds fun.
Nice.
Alright, so 9, 5, and 8.
The 9,
Oh, yeah, that's all hits.
Because it's
the
just
9's a raise, right?
does do grenades raise?
Oh, yes, they do.
Does it 8 raise too?
Yes.
Okay, so 2.
Since you're just shooting the ground, it's defense 4.
Okay.
The ground has a defense 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, technically less, but you're shooting a specific patch of ground
Gotcha.
at range. I mean, if you just want to shoot the ground,
I was
that's
like, no one's
pretty
ever said that
automatic.
yeah, the defense. The ground has defense.
So 3 hits, 2 raises.
Yeah. It's like if you want to throw a grenade someplace, normally it's like you're not aiming, you're not trying to hit somebody with it. You're just trying to go like, I want it to put there.
Yeah,
Like,
right around that area.
how hard is it to do that? And even when you suck at trying to get a piece of trash in the trash can, you get next to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been sucking it up lately too.
Alright. So 3d10 mega damage. We're gonna do the non-raise first.
Mm-hmm.
And do 20.
Jesus Christ.
And what's the AP on it?
There is actually no AP on
Oh,
it.
high explosive.
It's,
Right,
yeah, it's just high explosive.
20.
Still, you need a lot of you don't need a whole lot of AP when you roll 20.
Well,
Yes.
that's gonna be good. Because those are shitty, but
Still 18 to start. 20 again.
18, yeah, 20 more damage. And then 10. What's that?
So this was,
10,
7,
15,
10,
21.
plus another 5, so 26.
26.
Fuck yeah.
So you put 3 massive craters into the other part of the cornfield that he didn't dig a trench through. Again, clods of molten earth kick up, and you see at least 1 or 2 black shapes shredded in the explosions.
I really hope the Vernons weren't keeping these things to make their crops grow faster.
This field has really seen better days.
Sugar says, permission to recalibrate the internal sensors.
For what reason?
I have a hunch.
Go ahead.
Alright. So you see all your like internal monitoring, like for impact sensors, go offline for a second, and then your control of your pythons goes offline for a second, and then they all come back online, and you start to see like decibel level, like like that kind of a meter, but you're seeing your suit, and you're seeing a meter from starting from the feet go like this, and it starts to go slowly up and up and up. Something's burrowing towards us.
I'll skinny that. Mega lava wombat. The Bahamut wombat.
I'm kind of glad that you hit something first this time.
Did I what?
Because last time I made myself as like the number 1 enemy, I got fucked up.
Well, you guys went inside and you left me outside.
No. This was when we were in the forest with the witch touch.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like.
Well, it seemed overboard if it was just birds to like shoot a glitter boy around in a tree full of like.
All of a sudden, coming from the left leg, that little meter that your like little suit outline, it goes, and actual impact and damage alarms start going off on it, and it's and Sugar's like, it's chewing on your python.
Pull him up!
Pull him up! You're now looking around with heat sensors. You're starting to see the ground warm up around you. So it seems that there's multiple wombats underneath the ground burrowing around you.
Yeah, that was too easy.
You got a lot of them, but now you have to deal with whatever's left. So with her Joker, and you're skinning people, you skinnied everyone that they're burrowing, and then you start like panicking, and she's like, as her talking free action, she's like, "What's going on? What's going on?
They're chewing on my pythons.
Which one?"
Left.
And she tries to stab through the ground in front of your left python and hope to strike gold. Or
Also, I hope
magma.
that's the right python.
Huh?
Also, I hope that's the right python.
Left.
Python, yeah, left was, yeah. I looked this up before, and I always forget.
What? Pronunciation. So she stabs it and doesn't hit anything. Sadly.
Even with the +2?
Even with a +2.
Damn,
5.
Shawnee.
I mean, she's blind attacking something in the ground,
I
so.
know.
But hey, she gave everyone a penny. Oops, sorry, girl.
I already got mine. We already got him.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, okay, sorry. Thank
He
you.
just threw a card at Bandy's face, so he's
Gotcha.
picking it up now.
I hate how new dictionaries are like, play the pronunciation. Like, just show me the fucking. Python.
Yeah. Python.
Python, not a python. I screwed that up.
It's a little pronunciation.
Peaton?
Python.
Like you have to pee a ton,
Yeah, like a python. You're right. You can remember it that way. You gotta pee so much. Watch, I guarantee the MSN say something different.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, Python.
Pitons.
Nope, it's
Pitons.
Piton.
Pitons.
Alright. 6-9. Giggity.
Hey.
That's more like it.
Both diamonds again. You've gotten all
Well, I
diamonds.
just 9 was literally my last hand, yeah. What is this thing, by the way?
I don't know.
That's
Yeah, I
a
don't know.
gargoyle, but
Jack King 10. Okay. Queen 8. And an ace for them. So,
well, that's definitely first.
alright, it's got a hold of your Piton, and it's going to continue munching.
Sounds like that would hurt if someone was munching on your Piton.
Yeah, roll for munch.
Your left Piton is damaged. So there's going to be some repercussions if you're going to want to plant that and use it. And you hope you can still pull it up at this point.
Yeah, because that'll be even worse if I can't reuse it.
Yeah.
Can't reuse it.
Someone just munched on your Piton, and now you may not be able to get it up.
Roll for munch.
King? Or do we have we don't have an ace, right? You have 6-9, so king. Yep.
Oh, crap.
These things chewing on my toenails.
You want me to blow them up? Like, seems like a bad idea.
If you start shooting rail guns down there, that's has a bigger chance of taking out your Piton than a wombat can.
Today's episode was brought to you by the word Piton. And the number 69.
It's true. So true.
God, I don't know that I have anything I can necessarily do.
You can hold your turn.
You know they're down there.
Well, I guess I'll just say it's the wrong game for this, but I will just disengage using my jump. Jump away to get to a distance that I don't register because I have heat sensors too, right?
You have heat sensors.
So I can kind of jump away
back.
from where I'm seeing all these things. more
where
or
the
less,
ground is heating up. Yeah.
And I get in like a ready to fire position.
What do you have as those explosives? Are they mines or are they grenades? The things you throw or attach.
Those are
C8, right?
No, those are different.
They're hand charges. So like they're in my hands, I have to place them.
Okay. You can put those in the ground, like you just bury them and then jump away if you want. Leave a little present for the fuckers.
I was gonna say if you had any kind of thing you could lay around as you retreat. But
All right, well let's do that before I jump. Then is that fine to change that?
Just you could just drop them out your hands, really. But if you want to like dig them down in there, just pound them into the ground, and then jump back.
Yeah, I'm guessing like being in a power armor could punch into the ground at least a couple to few feet, and then release them, pull out, and jump back.
Pull out.
the night of the sexual innuendo.
All because
Can.
all because of magma wombats.
You're wagging your tail a lot today. Good news?
That's right. The fusion block missile launchers with the electromagnet adhesives.
To what? I feel like that's not what I have.
You do. Well, you do have those. You have F4 fusion block missile launchers firing short-range missiles which use electromagnets and adhesive goo to cling to a target upon impact. and then you detonate it by hand, voice command, or on impact,
Those are in
or
your-
time to blade.
Those are in your hands?
No.
Oh.
Yes and no. That is different. But he has those. He has those missile
Say
launchers.
vast difference.
Vast. I did not say vast difference. I said that, but different. The power armor also has 3 built-in May 3 charges, or Mazies.
Yeah, those are
Hand charges similar to mines that can be placed on a target using a molecular adhesion system. This technology is closely guarded secret by the NGR. The hand-shaped charges designed to blast through an armored target's shell. The left arm holds a rocket launcher. So they're pretty much mines. Like, you can, again, dig them into the ground, and if anything touches them, they'll go off. And you can also detonate them on command.
So are the other things the things that come out of my actual rocket launchers?
Yes.
Okay, that's why the range is so short, 15, 30, 60.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of damage.
They have a lot of damage, and they adhere, and you can detonate them by multiple different means. So you can lock them onto things and then detonate them later, or time charge, or whatever you want.
I don't remember what SBT means.
Small blast template. So
Yeah. Because apparently those are also at a...
he does have a can opener. That's what he's been wearing for since you've killed the shifter. You got the can opener.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is it GT?
That is GT.
It is GT.
GT. They're fighting. God, this is like it's
Lava.
it's magma wombats, but they're witch touched magma wombats. So they're corrupted, evilly corrupted, 6-eyed magma wombats.
They used to be a
magma
nuisance.
wombats.
Now they're a chore.
So you drop your mines off and jump away. You're full distance back. Wombats. I love saying it. Wombats. Magma wombats. It's one of my favorite Magic cards. Magic the Gathering. They had a card called Rabid Wombats, and it was just this cartoon wombat with like foam coming out of its face. I'm like, Rabid Wombat.
Mine was Sporling. Is that a green deck? Ah,
Like that's so fun. All right. Magma Wombat, Magma Wombat, Magma Wombat. Got pretty bad there at the end. All right, you jump away. I forgot that they went first because I just attacked him and didn't attack anyone else. That's okay. It's my bad.
That seems fair.
That seems fair. To be fair.
the ground, to be fair. The ground is hard around here because it's winter.
Yes. But they are witch touched and magma. Queen.
I just figured they were all going for him. He did the most damage. Just like the crows in the forest.
Hey, she actually hits it this time. She's like, shh. Slams it back down. Spirit. D10 plus. Yeah,
I get it more like this.
she smashes down through the earth, and she pulls up her. What are you doing down there? She pulls up her sword, smashes it back down. You hear a scream like underneath the ground. There's some slight rumbling, but the damage, like the actual contact indicator, goes off from your P10.
In other words, there's no more contact being made with the Peden.
Right, so it's not gnawing on it still and heating it up and doing whatever it's doing to it.
A little bit of Bandy on stream.
No, so
She
close.
shows up every so often.
Bandy. She's normally like really freaked out by stuff above her. Like she freaks out at fans. There it is. There it is.
There she is.
Bandy. All right. That was. Giving her a raise yet?
Fortunately,
two milk bones.
If you're referring to Shawnee, we tend to do the opposite of give her a raise.
No, they tend to ignore her.
We're always just like, send her
I'm
out there.
trying to ask her opinion once again. I make it about every third game. So on my turn, I'm going to try to pull my Petons up.
All right, make a repair check
I don't like
as
that.
you're trying to finagle it and do it right.
9.
The dreaded die.
That's fine. So like, it's having issues. So you bring it up slowly. You work at it, and you can retract your Peton. It is hot. It is semi-melted, and you're not sure what it's going to do when it's retracted in the casing. If it's going to be able to cool down and go back out, or if
Sure, can't spend a couple seconds on diagnostic with that.
she can. Yeah.
I mean,
Tell her
my
to do
turn's
that.
pretty much up, yeah, so let's do that.
Besides, pulling it up doesn't take your entire action. You can move if you want,
I'll
or
definitely retreat a little bit.
pull out your laser, pull out your sword, or whatever else you want to do.
It's going to have to be sword, I guess. The lasers don't do anything about magma.
I mean,
Can't laser a hot magma thing.
yeah, but like if she just stabbed one with her sword, like obviously your sword would work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
My issue is that my claws don't. The claws, they're not like
Obscure.
Yeah.
this long. They're
Oh, you have claw envy.
45.
I just don't have a big sword like you.
But
Well, that's
individually, a 4 out of 5.
And also, I'm not able to retract my piton.
Free time about your dog boy.
Red rocket, red
Your
rocket.
piton's tucked in all the time.
3, 4, queen.
Bandy's not fucking with the blue screen.
What are you doing, Bandy?
She played with the green screen.
I get this queen a lot.
2, queen. Oh, it's Aaron Tarn.
Hey.
What you doing, girl? Want attention?
Yo,
Want
critter.
attention? 9. Okay. So,
Nine.
queens. I'm pretty sure you go first.
Perfect, because the cards don't want to stay up now. Crap. They're still all in the ground, aren't they?
Yes.
You know, can I just hold my turn?
Yep.
I'm just gonna take the queen back. Because again, I don't want to like. You haven't like moved away, right?
Yeah, I stepped away a couple steps.
Couple of steps, like not as far as you did.
You know, like 12 feet.
All right. No, GT, no. Here, Bandy, I have peanut butter.
We don't want to know where that peanut butter is, GT.
Yeah, keep it clean for the kids. Beats is right here. You could lather yourself up with peanut butter all day long for him.
I do love me some peanut butter.
Pardon?
Whoa.
Yeah.
She
In the jar of pearls.
the jar. Peanut butter in the jar. She's gonna kind of back up and hold her action as well.
Does
Yep.
he go last?
Yeah, he does.
Of course he does.
All right. So there's 2 thumps as they went after your mines because they're like, "What's this?" So just 2 big, huge craters form and clods of earth and all that.
You mean to roll?
Yeah, that was insta kill. 2 fusion mines go off.
That does suck a little bit though, because now I'm down to 1 of those. Curious how
And
the
you do-
hand charges. How like I have 3. Why weren't you have 4? 2 in each hand.
Right? Or I think it's actually
They might
you're
just be in
only
one
in your
hand.
left hand because the right hand is the grapple. So it's
Anyway.
so you only threw 1. Let's call it you only put 1 down there. It goes off. It kills an undetermined amount of wombat.
Just makes another big ass hole in the ground.
A big ass molten hole in the ground because it was a fusion charge.
I need to make sure I know that I can have 3 at one time.
Make a notice check.
4 plus 2, 6. Oof.
Yeah. Nothing's really standing out to you. You can't really get a bead on where these things are. When he gets back here, we'll tell him what's going on. But one thing that does happen is a kind of molten line of earth and spit shoots out at Shawnee. Just like basically comes out of the ground and shoots at her. Poor dogs. Poor GT dogs.
What happened there, buddy?
My brake lights are on.
What?
The pedal gets stuck sometimes. So it'll be fine. It'll make another hour and a half.
It hits off her armor and doesn't do anything. She screams at that. So a couple things happen. You backed up. When he left, he put a charge in the ground and jumped back.
Saw that.
That goes off as it attracted a wombat and it bit into it and detonated it. So a huge clump of earth comes up in the fusion explosion. There's it's an indeterminate amount of wombat death down there from that. Another crater in the ground. Make a notice check. +2. As sugar is. Spitting wombats.
I'll go with 12.
You rolled a dreaded 7, though.
Alright. So
You're doing good at that tonight.
a piece of, just a long spitter of magma comes out of the earth and flies at Shawnee and hits her, but doesn't get through the armor. So, these things can, just spit lava through the ground. You're assuming they have to be a little bit closer to the surface. But through your sensors now, and her analyzing the heat, so she's like, okay, they're coming at us again, and I think these are the trajectories. And she starts laying tracks digitally on the ground of where she thinks these wombats are moving as she's using the data coming in from the seismic stuff.
Got it.
And the vision of the heat.
Can I toss that info to his heads-up display, or is that not how it works?
You can, yeah.
We'll give it to him. There you go.
Sugar can. She
Well.
shares the targeting data with your computer. You're still holding, right?
Yes.
So you can take an action if you want to. It's still their turn. They're about to do something. But you can interrupt now that you have that data, if you want.
You can see planned dig trajectory.
Possible.
Possibly.
Possible dig trajectories.
I feel like that's one of the sad. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with that information.
Okay. No, that's fine. They are two of the plan, or where you see that there's ones, spit magma out at you. So it looks like she's right on two of them.
Weak.
What's plan?
Oof.
Dig.
It's just where it's suspected. It's like saying there's more heat here, here, and here, and the seismic things register this far and this close. So I think there's a wombat here. I think there's a wombat here. I think there's a wombat here.
Okay.
So
I thought it was like, this is probably where they're gonna go, and it's like, well, they can change direction at any time.
they can. Nothing. And nothing. I mean, it's really hot. It's like hits you like sizzling. Oh yeah,
that one got me earlier. Didn't I get? Oh, I didn't. I got hit, but I didn't do any damage. Sorry. I was thinking of the scarecrow. I'm like, I didn't write anything down. I forgot.
No, that didn't hit you. It only hit Yeah, it hit everyone but you, but that wasn't their magma. That was just...
I hit everybody but Shawnee.
That was just magic.
We did no
Yeah,
damage to our
the
armor.
scarecrow hit both of us, but not Sean.
Yeah. This is like, it's a clump of molten dirt and whatever they spit.
Mm-hmm.
It sticks onto you and it starts to like cool down and blacken, but you're also worried about like it's sticking there as it's cooling down. This
Burning.
might damage your chromium.
Absolutely.
So it is your turn.
Alright. So I'm going to follow Shawnee's lead. I'm going to stab my sword in where I think one of these things is at.
And you saw right where it like spit out of, so you can get an easy target there. You know one's down there. It's just, again, you are still striking blind.
4?
No.
Add in a 6.
9.
That'll hit. So
Vibro sword, strength plus 10.
So D12 plus 4 plus D10.
Say that one more time.
D12 plus 4 plus 10. D10.
My Vibro sword says strength plus D10.
And what's your strength in your glitter boy?
Oh, nice. Voice, right?
A
Makes more
D12
sense.
plus 4
There we go. D12 plus 4 plus 10.
plus D10. Yeah. Sorry. D12 plus 4, so it's D12 plus D10 plus 4.
Gotcha. That makes a lot more sense. 11, so 15.
Yeah. And AP 4, I think.
Yes.
So, you stick it down in there, you hear a hiss, and as you pull it out, there's molten something on the end of the sword.
Hot pockets.
Oh, sorry.
Anything you want to do before the turn turns over?
Well, I guess at this point, I guess I will use some of these probable. Just lay a line of fire into them.
Okay.
With the railgun. I was like, not grenades. Let me shoot grenades at my pal's feet. See what happens. I don't even know how this roll's gonna work, like, because I'm shooting at spots on the ground again.
But you're using a tracking computer.
Yep, you're using a targeting computer, but you just don't know if there's an actual target behind there or not.
So
It's kind of like shooting blind.
we have 2 4s.
Uh-huh.
Then we have a 6, 9,
Okay.
and a 10, 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 4s won't hit, right? It's blind.
How many did you roll?
Well, I've rolled 5 die total because
Okay, yeah.
railgun has rate of fire 4.
So you had 2 4s,
I take
a
one.
19, and a 9.
Yes.
Right. And what was the last one? It was like a 2 or 1?
That was a
or-
4.
yeah.
Another 4.
Another 4. Alright, so the 19 and the 9 hit. 19 with a raise.
I was like, I hope that one has a raise. It's been a while since I've
been a
shot this
while.
thing. 2d8 plus 4.
AP.
I know we're both using like weapons we haven't used in a while. Like Vibro sword. How does this work?
AP6. Where are those d8? There they are.
2d8 plus 4.
I'll do the one regular hit first and get 14 plus 4 is 18.
Nice.
And then my raise one will be
Wow.
17.
And
So 22, 30 so far. 38. Oops.
44.
44.
Plus 4 is 48.
48. So
One's like right through the eyeball. Yeah.
so you just do a
Hopefully
nice
there was something
line.
there.
You do a nice line along the ground with the railgun. It's like, again, like kind of dig a trench. But after you like dig that trench, the 2 spots start melting down on themselves as you just burst these magma wombats. So they just, a bunch of their insides are now on the outsides, melting the ground around them. Like,
Dude, 44 is glitter boy damage.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
she's gonna jump forward and stab into the ground where the spit came out at her.
I staged some 8s right there.
Yeah, right. That was pretty intense.
Staged 2 8s. And staged another one.
Woo. Ooh. 19, 20, 22.
We're all very mad at these combats.
Sticks in there again, like cuts into it, pulls it up, and then the ground. You see the ground just start like sinking in on itself and smoldering as you let loose the magma interior of these things. Ace 8. You've got like a lot of flushes tonight.
Hello? I am. My lights are on. Thank you for telling me, though. All right.
Who is that?
That's somebody else from Thursday. He's telling me my lights are on.
2, 6 ace.
Nice.
9 jack. And the wombats get a 5. The wombat combat is over. That's what you want to hear. I just want to be done with the wombat combat. Pretty sure that's you.
Did I go first?
Ace.
No idea. That's why I'm not even setting it up. Because I'm just like, am I going to shoot at more spots?
You can.
I have more spots in
You have more spots in your targeting array.
Then let's do this again. Alright. Not as great this time. 6, 7, 4, 3.
6, 7, 4, 3, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You dig a trench and not much seems to go on.
Okay.
Unless you want to reroll.
You have a lot of bands.
I do have a lot of bands.
4, 4, 2, 6.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna be wow. 6, 5, 4, 2.
Alright.
I think that's
You
worse.
dig a trench.
It's worth every penny.
You have what?
It's me next. Ace of clubs.
Yep.
So we're going to do the same idea. There's got to be another one I can see that I can stab at.
Yep.
Something tells me I'm not going to have the same magical roll that I had last time. So 8.
That'll hit.
Alright.
That'll hit something. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Is that a 9, 10? Yeah.
19, 22.
22. I mean, that's enough to kill it.
Hey, Beach, you see that?
Oh.
Sugar, turn off the low stabbing counter.
The what?
The low.
She's like, the what?
You're running out of stabs.
Good one, GT.
The sword is getting hot.
What is it, Bandy? Did Mitch leave his lights on?
Yeah, right.
She kills another one below ground. On your turn, also, Sugar says, it seems that the signals are receding.
Skinny, that obviously. So. It looks like they're running away, fellas. And
And
sorry,
still a fella
D&D,
in the southern
fellows,
speak.
yeah.
Fellas is still. Hey, what's up, fellas?
No, actually, fellows is more proper. In the South, fellas means guys, like boys. I would never say fellas if there was a girl around.
Has a Sugar Skinny to James that his players' brake lights are on?
Yeah. Your repeat indicator won't turn off now because it's damaged.
Why is the Pete alarm so annoying? Sounds like a wiper blade.
So they seem to be receding
And retreating?
and retreating.
Just making sure they're doing both.
I mean, they could be regrouping. You don't know. They could be like melding to form a super
Good.
Magma Wombat?
Make
Are they
them
all
one.
heading the same direction, or is it just are they
It's
running
just-
away from us, or are they
Yeah, just
running like
out.
that way? Yeah, so I think we got them.
Make me a notice check.
Like at this point, if things want to make themselves one big monster, that's better for us than multiple little ones.
Right, it's much easier to shoot and kill one big thing.
We wasted an entire clip, and I've had one of my pins chewed off.
Notice?
Yes.
I was like, what is my notice? It is a 7.
Okay, so they recede. You're still at the farm. There's lots of holes in the ground now. What do you do?
Does anyone have seeds to plant? This
Yeah,
would be...
right. We've turned the field over.
You have damage on your suit if you want to.
Yeah, I 100% have to do that. My thing is, while I explain that I'm not pulling my gun out until that thing's fixed.
Instead of your gun, it's repeating.
Well, I know, but I can't fire it.
Yeah, you can't fight your gun without.
I can, but I'm going to
Playing
damage
with
the
your
suit more,
Peyton.
and I'm not putting one Peyton in without the other, so I'm not doing that. So while I explain that I can't fire my gun anymore, I would explain, hey, you guys want to be careful, you go inside the buildings here. This is what's outside, who knows what's inside. So I'd probably retreat kind of to the property line and get out and start.
Why don't we? The garage door is open. Seems that's where the vehicle would have gone. How about we go in there? Because it's probably a place that you can fix your stuff
That's a good
too.
point. I like the way you think.
The garage big enough to house this
Oh
thing?
yeah, the garage is big
It's
enough
a
to
farm
house.
garage.
Yeah, it's big enough to house like combines and things like that. So you head over to the garage.
Let's do it. I mean, can Sugar scan and stuff as we go? I mean, obviously, she's obviously doing that. But
So you guys head to the garage. There's nothing threatening in there. You do your sensor sweeps and all that stuff. Nothing moving, anything like that. There are several places where vehicles will be parked. There's still several vehicles in there. There's little 3-wheeled ATVs. There's to get around the property. There's a cover for something. It looks car-sized. It's hanging up though, so the car is not here. There's a couple tracks.
I was say, does the cover have an emblem on it?
It's a Chrysler. Yeah, it's got a Chrysler logo on the front.
Good to know.
it's the family
The Hover Chrysler.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place where a couple pallets used to be, hover pallets, but they're gone. They're gone.
What they were used for.
There's a there's a lot of the all the tractors and farm vehicles are left, but it looks like some of the smaller bays where personal or town vehicles would be are empty.
Looks abandoned. Now I would definitely get out and get to work because that's irritating.
Right.
Hey Beats, find us some coffee.
Hey,
I'm only saying that because I'm doing something. I can't do anything else right now.
if Shawnee's in, I'll go find coffee.
I already also said as a joke, be careful wandering around. Are you rolling for coffee?
No.
Oh, okay.
As long
what
as
are you doing?
someone's staying
There
here
is
to
coffee.
watch it.
Shawnee's staying in the garage and she's looking around.
Okay.
What are you doing? Going in the farmhouse? Looking for coffee?
Yeah, at this point, though, I'll do a little...
Okay. So you do that, and there is a vague aura of magic in several places. So in here, there's several Techno-Wizard vehicles. It's easy to pinpoint. Outside, pretty much everywhere where you shot at the ground or entered, you killed things underneath the ground, those things have a malignant magic to them. You're going to the farmhouse?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you polite and knock first before just barging in, or was the scarecrow blowing up enough to tell you that there's probably no one home?
Is he big enough to walk through something like that, or too big to walk through something like that?
He couldn't. Well, he could if he shimmied sideways, but these doors are a little bit larger.
I imagine I would just open the door.
Yeah. It opens. The door's
I'm pretty
not
strong.
locked.
I can.
Ha ha ha! You didn't say the magic word.
It opens. You walk in.
I'll take a sniff.
There's a lot of residual magic in here, but it's faint and older. It's just
see you in your
seeped
armor
in.
making coffee.
Yeah.
Damn it! Like you just can't do it.
No, it's like a quaint little farmhouse. There's a lot of magic has gone on in this place, or magic people have just lived here. So it's like seeped into the wood and things like that. It's just got that old person smell. It's got that magic smell. Head into the kitchen. Yeah. Things look like they've been put away or still kind of out. So there looks like someone left here in a hurry. Nothing's like food on the table or anything like that, but it looks like things were cleaned up and there's still dishes like in the sink ready to be cleaned and things like that. So some people left here in a hurry recently.
Things were stored but not cleaned.
Right. You see the coffee maker with all the accoutrement next to it. Big old tin of pre-ground coffee. Folgers.
You okay with dark roast or?
In another room. You can't.
You get a radio.
Oh.
Like, come on.
We could like sing to each
I
other.
was joking. I don't even drink coffee, you weirdo. No, black's fine.
Thanks, God. Also, skinny that like it looks like people left here. You said recently.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
You can tell by the scarecrow or by something else.
By the kitchen. Basically, I'm trying to say we're not
finding anything.
we're not too far behind somebody.
So while
Don't know which Vernons it might be.
you're waiting for the coffee to brew, you can poke around the place a bit, if you want. You don't have to. Just saying, what are you doing while you?
Would you like me to notice check?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you walk around. There's like pictures on the wall. You see the family. You see
milk bones under the sink.
You start to try to determine who's who because you see two younger fellas, but you see also baby pictures, and you kind of like, okay, that's like probably the same person, this and that. So you've got an idea in your head what the two Vernon brothers look like. You also see their parents. And you see them like younger, like with the babies. You see them getting older. You see the father doesn't look all that great. And then like later on, some of the pictures, like the mother looks a little bit distracted and she's alone. And then there's just pictures of the grand folk with the young men. So at some point, it looks like the parents disappeared.
Are there pictures of the vehicle at all?
Yeah, there is the Chrysler, the Hover Chrysler.
Just so now we know exactly, possibly, what vehicle we'll be looking for.
It looks like the granddad as a younger fella, looking all proud out next to it.
Who's proud of a Chrysler? Just kidding.
People from Kansas.
Hey, so funny. It does hover.
It's a Hover Chrysler.
Yeah.
All this is going on, and then you hear the coffee's like ding as it's finished brewing. You start to head back there, and it's like from the living room and all that. This is one of those old farmhouses, so the entry door opens up into like that hallway. It's like the staircase is here, the living room is here, the kitchen or the dining room is here, and the kitchen's back here. Just like that kind of one central little foyer hallway that connects to all the wings of the house. And you're going from the living room to the kitchen, where that would be. The door just slowly creaks open. And you look over, and a wave of malignant, evil magic hits you. And there's this woman thing standing there. She's cowled up got long claws, gray skin, wearing what looks to be just like black rags or fur over her, and stringy black hair with 6 red eyes, and she's staring at you. So the door just opens in front of her.
Ask her if she wants some coffee.
I don't think that's what I'm gonna do. I'd immediately, as soon as possible, like I'm not. Clearly, this is magical, and I don't want it to fuck with me.
And it's just sitting there, like
She's just sitting there.
just sitting there staring at you.
Sorry to disturb, madam. let me go get my coffee and get out of here.
To disengage.
Where have the Vernons gone?
So, this. I don't imagine this is gonna go well, but fuck it. That's a good question. I have no idea. I'm looking for them myself.
We've been looking for them for some time.
Who's we?
You shall know us soon enough. You should go to the Rise.
What is the Rise?
West. You can't miss it.
Where's that coffee at?
Got a situation here, James.
Always a situation when you have to do the chores.
All right. Well, West sounds fun. See you around. I'm gonna go back this way.
Shut the door.
I would have like step up and shut the door on her. Like just. So as like you're shutting the door, there's one last whisper. We know you too, through bird eyes.
That means I know he lives here.
Anyway, so shut the door. Let's go to the garage.
So you leave the coffee.
Yeah, fuck the coffee.
Head out the back door. Out, start heading towards the garage. Alright, so Shawnee's like in the garage door looking out around, sees you coming up. Where's that coffee?
James, how long you got left there, bud?
I have
Probably 15, 20 minutes.
15 to 20 minutes left.
Because let me just tell you what I ran into. And I'll skinny what I saw, everything she said.
You probably should have offered her some coffee.
Didn't the university people refer to those things as witches?
I think so. Do you guys know anything about the Rise? I wonder if... we don't have any kind of contact with the university for this distance, do we? Something like that.
Unless, did you see a phone in the farmhouse? You did see a phone.
Did
Go
I?
get,
Yeah,
go
an
get
old
the coffee and check on the phone.
an old rotary pickup dial phone. Because they have techno wizards that are all about infrastructure here, that they might have something that I don't know what the phone number would be, but
One of the brothers was going to the university. That's what we know. So maybe we can check inside for some contact information.
what I know is that 3 things left this garage. Bandy! Silly dog. Stop it. What are you doing? 3 things left this garage. One of them looks like it went west. One of them looked like it went northeast. And one of them kind of went out the front. So maybe back to Dodge City?
These are all vehicles?
Yes. Very close though. I think it's yeah.
She said the same thing the whole yesterday.
So 3 things. One went northeast, so essentially kind of back the way you guys came, but more direct route and a little bit more easty. One of them went west, and one of them went straight east.
Like, can we tell what these?
They're all vehicles of different sizes.
They are. The hover vehicle seems to have gone straight east. A like a smaller like ATV, it looks like one of the 3-wheelers, went west, and a larger vehicle, a car of some type, maybe a truck, pickup truck or something like that, is the one that went northeast.
Do any of these match the tracks we followed to here?
No, that vehicle is here.
Okay. That sucks.
And it looks like it was a farm vehicle.
Well, I think we should go inside and look for communication back to the university. Maybe they have some leads at this point. We've been gone for 3 or 4 days at this point, maybe longer.
Yeah, the witch is still out here somewhere, so...
I'm stuck here for 15 more minutes no matter what, so you guys decide amongst yourselves what you want to do.
So you're not suggesting that you go back inside and look for anything, because you're going to stay here and work on your shit.
I mean, yeah.
Alright, so me and Beats will go back to the farmhouse.
Yeah, let's leave you here all by yourself
I'm sure I'll be
while
fine.
you repair things.
Just close the garage door.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I'm not going back in there. Shawnee wants to go, she can go. I suggest not, but I'm not going back
Let me
in
fix
there.
this up and let's follow.
She had the same 6 red eyes that these creatures have had. Like,
So do you want to look around for her and stop that, or do you want to flee the scene?
It's probably not wise to stay
Yeah.
any longer than we have to.
I think we just need to figure out which one of these tracks we want to try to follow.
Well, the small one's probably not them. The big one might be them if they have other people with them. But I'm assuming that kind of the quicker, faster car would probably be the best option if we follow that track. They brought a vehicle of similar size here.
Because the little ATV or whatever went west.
The ATV went west.
The
2 people at most, probably.
car went east-ish.
Straight east. The car. The hover car.
The bigger, whatever vehicle it might be, went northeast-ish.
Correct.
Northeast was the direction we were already headed, right?
You came from.
Came from, so...
Yeah, we came from...
Well,
It's a little bit more angled. Like
Yeah.
you guys went this way and came down. This is going this, but it's still back up in the zone that you've already crossed back and forth.
Plus, that sounds like a, hey, go back where I know it's safe-ish. Because everything we did this whole time has been safe the whole way.
East is Dodge City,
Yeah.
and they went out. It seems like the normal road. So the hover vehicle went east on the road. So it looks like it's doing the safe run. Both the other vehicles went paths that aren't on well-traveled roads.
So do you want to follow the motorhome or do you want to follow the ATV?
I don't know, because there is a possibility, like we all joked about, that the Vernons did just return to Dodge City as soon as we set off on this.
It's true. I mean, it could be anywhere at this point. We just have to decide. We have 2 tracks we're going to follow. I mean, there's 3, but one of them seems like it's taking the safe route. Sounds wrong. These guys are fleeing and maybe trying to draw out.
I think this is frayed. Like, this is, we don't know who we're going after. The path is now split 4 times since we first got on it, because there was that one split after the first battle. I think it's time to go back to Dodge City and check back in with the university.
It does make sense. We've already come into like 3 different encounters without any kind of trace of anything other than we think they're going this way.
Plus, we need restock, re-gear for some things.
Well, and at the very least, like we know where this farm is now. Exactly, and we can, log where these paths went, go to Dodge City, and they're still like, no, they still haven't returned, blah, blah. Come back this way, and then, or, make the choice from Dodge City, I guess. If we know that one path went east, we can just head straight north. I don't know.
Our only points of contact are there.
Not a bad idea. Plus, we can kind of let them know everything that we've encountered so far. Like at the orchard, at the Coleman and Touch farms, at the Vernon farm.
Outside of Wichita.
Mm-hmm.
Coalition strike.
So
back to Dodge.
So now is it technically following those east tracks?
It
Because it's
maybe
it goes to the road.
Problem with hover vehicles, especially in the winter, is it's really hard to track them. But you could see where there's displacement as they left. Once it's on the road, especially a well-worn road,
who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? So, back to Dodge.
Back to Dodge.
I mean, you can track the other 2 tracks much easier if you wanted to go that route. But then you also don't know who you're tracking or where they're going there and why.
Mm-hmm.
You're the boss.
I say we just go back to Dodge. We've done a big semicircle here and encountered some things.
Mm-hmm. There's been like 2.5 sessions, 3 sessions of searching at this point with like nothing to show for it. So
You have a lot of branches. You had a lot of encounters, which taught you some and raised a bunch more questions.
yeah.
Plus, maybe we can get some more information from the university at this point. At least, on what we're dealing with when we're encountering these 6-eyed creatures.
And you also had the conversation where you talked to you about what the rise is and what those things really are. Why was she talking to you? And why does she know you now? And why does she know the Vernons?
Or why was she creepily looking for them in a non-threatening manner? Just checking.
Well, and again, same kind of eyes as those wombats had. So I know that she
And
was
the
doing it
birds.
non-threatening.
Yeah.
She personally wasn't coming at me.
It was probably the Scarecrow that was keeping her at bay. Once you guys got rid of the Scarecrow, she's like, I can come see you.
Scarecrow got rid of his damn cells.
So we should do that. We'll be right back.
After these messages, you gonna run over and drop your lights?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll be right back, everybody.
It's getting worse.
They'll be back in Dodge City. still waiting for Mitch. He's going to go turn off his headlights. If anyone wants to ask any questions, I've got some time here. Andy!
Did Mitch go to the bathroom?
He went to turn his lights off.
That's what I figured he might do that.
Yep. So I opened up the forum to the watchers, but I don't think there's anyone watching.
SGT gone already?
Yep. What was that? Oh, yeah. Did you have to play any Destiny today? Besides, getting kicked off, but did you actually get anything?
Yeah, eventually this game.
So, there's a statue in the middle of the thing that's not here there yet?
That won't be till the 31st.
And you can't get your... Or can you get your first level set of gear from the tower falling? No? Alright. So the whole holiday that's here,
Solstice of Heroes.
yeah, you get a set of gear that you were wearing at the beginning of the tower falling. And then it upgrades twice. So it looks exactly like it was back then. Then it turns into an all-white set like the statue. And then when you upgrade it, and then it turns into a glowing gold one.
I don't think that's here yet.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping like you could get the first set of it.
Quick play PvP, which is not really important to you, is now 6v6 like it used to be. Bounties are back for Crucible and Strikes.
Crucible and Strike, but just Strikes? Like it's not go to a planet, do patrols, or headshots, or whatever?
No, because I was actually wondering about that when I got all those, and I was like, where would...
Mitch.
I was just like, where would these other bounties be? And I went to Cade and went
It's
to...
just Zavala, isn't it?
Yeah, but Zavala just has the like Vanguard like strike ones.
And that's all it is, like just do...
And Shaxx has Crucible ones, and that's it.
Well, what are they? What are the... What do they ask you to do?
Let's see. The strikes one had kill a certain amount of enemies with your super during a strike. Complete strike challenges. That one was the hardest one.
There's strike challenges.
Like when you go into a strike and you have like 3 challenges.
Oh, fuck. You kill things with void and blah, blah, blah.
And one of the bounties itself was just like defeat a certain amount of enemies in a strike using void.
So the brake pedal catches sometimes, leaves the brake lights on. Whenever they're off.
So it just
The car's dead.
at some point.
I was like, the car's dead. So I got in and turned it on. Everything's fine. I'm like, well, he's peeing. I'll pee real quick. And coming out, Shane's like, so, what do you think's making? I'm like, dude, I can't talk about the car right now. I got stuff to do.
Alright, you guys head back to Dodge City. It's a day if you push it, day and a half if you don't. I'm assuming you get away from the farmhouse first, because you don't, there's a witch there possibly. So you get away from the farmhouse and then maybe rest up a bit. Oh, you repair your pizza. I'm not.
Okay.
You have enough time. There's enough. Like, you find out that if you need anything, that workshop that's right next to the garage is like fucking stocked.
Yeah, I bet.
So,
I would say since I'm repaired, not that that's the most important thing, but since I'm repaired and we're trying to make distance, we didn't take any damage really from that battle, other than some loss of ammo. I think we should just push it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to take a rest.
This might be the first time that we don't.
Get the hell out of Dodge to Dodge.
get the hell into Dodge. So you get the hell into Dodge. By just before noon the next day, you're rolling up into Dodge. So there's a choice. If you stay on the road where you're going through, if you stay on this road, you will head in through Outlaw Town, Bandit Town, or Outlaw Town, the Outlaw District. There is another way you can go, which will enter you from the town from a different direction, and you're not sure what entrance that would be, but you've already been through Outlaw District when you were looking for Daisy.
Yeah. Well, when we were leaving, even though we weren't following the tracks, did we see the tracks at all? Did we see if they went in or not, or is there too much traffic yet?
Yeah, too much traffic at this point.
Do you want to go back through Outlaw Town, or do you want to go around it?
I'm fine going back through Outlaw
Yeah,
Town.
fuck those guys.
We were pretty successful last time we were
I'll
there.
smash a glass on their face. I know that wasn't the same place. But...
No. All right, so you head in through Outlaw Town. When you walk up, there is a shakedown at the gate. They want money for you to enter. It seems very made up on the spot, just whatever the hustle is of the current guards of that gate.
I would probably, as fun as it would be, to put a coin in my glitter boy armor and be like, ping, and shoot it way over there. Like, just go get it.
Did you do that?
Oh, yeah. I don't like stuff like that. Sorry, I don't even ask for your assistance on this one.
Yeah, they don't push their luck.
Yeah.
You are glitter boys.
Exactly.
So...
There's some things the Code of Honor works for.
Yeah. Nope, that's fine. So heading in.
How far would I be able to?
It would be pretty far.
Especially with,
it would be really hard to articulate.
Well, not with Sugar's help. You'd be
but
moving around just right.
But just trying to get it so that you can you don't have. It's metal. You don't have sticky hands that are adhesive or.
That might be the most fun. Where I'm like, hang on. Go get it. That's just an asshole.
So you're heading through Outlaw Town. It's right as it's getting towards high noon. It's hustling and bustling. Most people are just waking up in Outlaw Town, but it's also lunchtime and business time. So the streets are getting pretty crowded. a little, like a kid jumps out in the street, probably 9, 10 years old, and he's got a little pop cap, revolver. He's like, "Reach for the sky, mister!"
I'll take a knee, aim my gun. I'm just kidding.
My turn. And then he takes something out of his he's got a plaid button up, button all the way to the top, and a fake cowboy hat, and he reaches into his pocket right here, and he flings something at you guys, and it's terrible. It just goes right into the ground, and he runs off hee.
Is it the coin that you? Okay.
Nope, it is not the coin.
That'll come back later, like a day later. I'm not touching it. I'm too big.
I'll pick it.
All right. So it's a card, playing card. It's a jack of clubs, and it's got a hole in it. So
That's the worst.
Right.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right. The worst. It's a jack of clubs with a hole through it. And you're like, what the hell is this? And when you flip it over, you see that it's a card, like a calling card, and it says "The Bad Deal Saloon" on the back. And in Sharpie, there's a flower drawn.
What kind of flower?
Kind of looks like a shitty flower, just the middle with the petals. It could be anything. It could just be a daisy or a.
I was hoping you might say it looks like a daisy. There you go. Cool.
Nope. It's not a rose. It's not a tulip. It's just the.
Well, it's mean to say daisy to us because it sounds like Daisy sent it to us.
Yeah.
Unless Daisy sent it to us.
I mean, you don't know who else would be drawing flowers on cards for you.
It's true.
No.
I just don't trust that girl very much.
Put it in.
Put it in a compartment.
Yeah, some compartment. I don't really have pockets. I guess.
You do. You have. I mean, you don't have pockets, but you have belt pouches and containers and all that kind of stuff. What you looking at, Bandy?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'll just do that for now. I don't think this is prevalent. Is that?
Yeah.
And you don't think it's
feel it's
urgent.
prevalent,
You
yeah.
don't feel it's pressing.
Prevalent is
No,
a correct word if that's how you feel.
If we want to go get answers about other things from the university.
This will be the first time that we've ever had the leg up speed-wise, but they have also made a point of coming and getting us.
And you can always go back to the Cozy Six, wash up, get out of the armors, and go to the university. You don't need your glitter boy to walk around the university.
We're not in Dodge yet, though.
You are in Dodge.
Oh,
Yeah.
This outlaw district's
we're
in Dodge.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry.
There are 5 districts.
Gotcha. Well, you were saying earlier, you guys went to the outlaw district already. I'm like, I remember talking to Daisy, but I remember going through a different town.
Yeah,
I forgot
no.
that it's actually part of Dodge.
Yep.
Okay.
There's College Town, Dogtown, Outlaw District,
That's right.
and then Diagon Alley.
I mean, it's on the way. We could always check and see. They did just risk the life of a child to get our attention.
All right, let's.
We don't
And
have
again,
to.
and you don't have to do it right now. Like I said, you can always go back to Cozy Six
You're the boss.
because
man.
you may have messages there as well.
I say we go back to the Cozy Six.
You still are paying for it, by the way.
Check in with Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Mr. Gummery.
Montgomery.
And then we can, like I said, wash up, and then you and I can, stretch and walk about without our armors.
Shawnee does it all the time.
I was just out earlier today.
Cool.
So let's go back to the Cozy Six.
All right, so you head into the Cozy Six. Your key pass still works. The gate opens up. You park your power armors and power them down and lock them up. Head into your place. It's been restocked of all of its sundries. Get a nice bath and shower, shave, and
Nice hot shower. It's good.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
No. I don't mean that.
Kazune! Ooh! That cracked my back. All right.
Nice.
Ooh. So, yep. About 30 minutes into you guys being there, the phone rings.
I got it.
Pick it up.
Yeah, I know it's only a phone call, but you still have like better charisma than me if it came down to anything.
Ah, Mr. McKellar. Welcome back. Is there anything I can get for you?
I mean, coffee would be nice.
Coffee. Coming up. Is the coffee in the room not adequate?
I found it. We're fine.
I do have to say that the coffee I have in my office is brilliant. A deeper roast. I can bring some to you if you'd like.
Sure.
This game is making me crave coffee.
We're gonna have to go back and have some Baileys and coffee later
Yeah, I'll
tomorrow.
have some horchata and coffee.
Sounds like we're having coffee later.
Yeah. Excellent. I don't want to...
Shane, brew some coffee.
I'll do it.
I don't want to intrude on your relaxation time. I know you just got back in from the road. But you do have several messages.
I feel like coffee might help those messages go down. Why don't you come on up and let's see what you got.
I shall send someone up presently, sir.
Beats, are you decent?
Yeah.
He's in there putting his lipstick on. Dog jokes all day, every day.
So many dog jokes.
It's rude, isn't it,
I know
Bandy?
we've moved away from like nuts. Now it's like pure lipstick joke. Bandy's like, where can a gal get some good lipstick around here?
All right. So,
Gross.
there's a knock at the door. Says like you can be like knock, knock, knock. Room service. And then the door opens. It's like room service, are you decent? Like a quick little thing, but like it's, just a couple second delay before the door opens. In walks a woman, like 20s. She is dressed as rustic and fancily as Montgomery is, so she's got like a bodice and, a dress long, ankle long dress skirt on.
How many eyes does she?
She only has two,
Alright,
set
good.
in a heart-shaped face, like coiffed by a auburn hair bob,
Dolores from Westworld.
with a bow and like a ribbon in her hair.
You pretty much almost described the main character of Westworld's outfit, yeah.
All right, and she's got like the silver platter with like the pewter coffee mug and cups all lined up, plus a little like digital pad sitting on there. And she carries that in and carries it over to the serving table inside her room. And so she does a little curtsy. I'm Laverna. I work for Montgomery. I'm here to see to your needs. How many will we having? How many will we having coffee?
Throw a coin. Ding, go get it. I don't know, at least two of us.
Yeah, all three of you.
Yeah, we'll have some coffee.
She pours coffee, does the creams and sugars all around, serves it to you.
Just because it's been a long day, I might whisper, you don't detect any magic in this coffee or anything, do you?
Speaking of which, you do detect magic on her, but no magic in the coffee.
She may not be.
Oh, okay. I'll leave half of it out.
Yeah.
All right.
So she picks up her little digital pad and says,
Well, she's reading our messages.
"Oh yeah,
Or she's just from talking Dodge 3 and half of them are fucking magic.
This is,
What?
you have been quite popular since your arrival here. Your first message is from, let's see, Matilda Red. Matilda Red, Dodge City Power and Water, Power Grid Division.
She says,
she would like to speak with you as soon as is convenient for you, and she has an address which she gives you. That is the message was curt and direct and to the point.
perfect. Next.
Nina Key. Technocrat, Dodge City Power and Water.
She wants.
She welcomes you to Dodge City. Says if you have any need of anything, any information or other, help that DCP and W can provide, to contact her assistant with any questions, any comments, any requests. And there's essentially an address, number, all that kind of stuff. Third message, Chancellor Wright, the university. If you get this message and you haven't checked in with me already, please check in with me. There has been more activity in the area that we may have use of your skills. Last is Foreman Tun. Iron Workers Union. There's a matter of a medical bill.
I'll stop you right there. Don't worry about that one.
Striking it from the record.
You're like Iron Workers Union. I'm like, we're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do for you, sirs?
Oh. No. I was playing Firefly for a minute there. I think that'll be all. Laverne.
Laverna.
Whatever. I'll give her a couple of credits.
She reaches into like a little side pouch and she pulls out a small vacuum sealed bag. She says, courtesy of Montgomery, this is one of his personal, or part of his personal stash of coffee.
Ooh.
And
Just got a dime bag of coffee. Yeah.
it's like one of those little vacuum sealed.
Oh no, I'm just joking. I like how they brought us coffee, but didn't give us the good coffee.
Well, you have coffee in the room.
I know, they made us coffee. Are we drinking?
You're drinking the coffee that he
and then
had,
I got some.
And then you
coffee.
got some extra. That's sealed, so you can take it. Like you don't have to drink it here. You can take this with you on the road.
Coffee.
It's also straight beans.
No, totally.
Yeah.
That shit's soluble as fuck.
Coffee.
Yeah, are you kidding? Coffee?
Absolutely.
You watched Expanse, right? That shit's worth its weight in gold. Are you kidding me?
It's straight beans as well, but any of your guys' power armors can crush that stuff right up. So, yep, she saunters out.
So it's skinny that obviously the DCP wants to talk with us.
Several people from the
Couple.
We have the Power and Water wants to talk to us.
Didn't she read that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay, then sorry.
You were all there.
Cool. Thank you. I thought you were still in there drying yourself.
You have a lot of hair. It's like.
You walk in, the drains are always clogged. All of them. The toilet, the sink, the bathtubs, everything's fucking clogged. How'd you clog the toilet? Fuck you.
Shedding season, guys.
Shedding season.
It's winter. You should be
I
putting
know.
on that
It's
coat.
cold outside. All right, so we should definitely. I mean, at this point, despite the coffee, I think I'd want to call it a night. Yeah. It's been a long couple of days.
Like you guys have like you're inside. It's heated. You have nice showers, comfy things to sit in. Like almost all of the fatigue immediately like just goes. Whoomp. When you're out there, when you're in your armor, you're in soldier mode, you're in combat mode. But you just got here, and it's like, ugh.
And it was fun. Like we got some coffee delivered to us, and we're all showered up, and we got like 5 new leads because we have the card, and we have the university wants to talk to us. So
you have the card from Daisy. You have Reggie Wright calling on you. Who you're already working for. Mm-hmm. You have this Matilda Red person and Nina Key. And Nina Key seemed like she was just reaching out as a courtesy. But Matilda Red seemed like she was like, hey, come see me.
I feel like Power and Water is kind of like the Ironworkers Union where they just talk to every single person that ever walks by the place ever.
And from the prevalence of them around here, like they've definitely got a power
DCP's Dodge
position.
City Power?
Dodge City Power and Water. DCPNW.
That's Matilda Red.
Matilda Red.
So who's Nina Key?
Nina Key, okay. Now, they're both from DCP&W.
They are both from DCP. Okay, I wrote it down. Sorry.
They had... So, Matilda Red... How Laverna said it was Matilda Red, DCP&W, head of Power Grid.
Gotcha.
Then she said Nina Key, DCP&W, Technocrat.
I got that.
And, like, you didn't ask her to clarify, but
no.
You can ask what those mean if you want.
That's fine. I wrote it down as
as
like acronyms, and I was like,
And so Nina Key was just like, hey, we're at your disposal. We hear that you're here and doing stuff. We're at your disposal. Where Matilda Red was like, see me.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
And you don't know what those things mean. You don't know what Technocrat means. You don't know what Power Grid is.
I'm down for just the good night's rest.
Right.
And a comfortable bed.
So you
non-power armor.
I always see you standing on an actual bed. Like I see your character standing on a bed for real, and like walking in like 2 or 3 circles,
like turning around 3 times, just like putting the foot out.
And then I would suggest before we even fall asleep, like we'll hit up the university first.
All right, let's do that.
Is that fair?
We're here.
I think
rested.
that's who we really want to see. They also want to see us. Let's talk to them first, then we'll deal with all our other people.
All right. Now, the other thing Shawnee says is that all of these were messages that were left while we were gone at some point. Mm-hmm. Daisy's message was waiting for us and saw us come in that day and sent it. So I only say that because she seems already outside of the whole system.
She also gave some of our most pertinent information so far.
And it was really directed. Like they were waiting for us to come back.
Just let her know we've confirmed this as Daisy's message. I thought it was just a shitty flower.
It's a shitty flower, but it was from Outlaw District, and the only person we know from Outlaw District is Daisy, and there's a shitty flower on the back, and that's the place she was at, was the Bad Deal Saloon.
Okay.
Right? Like,
so the college first.
And she just brings university first is fine. She's just bringing that up. Like that was the only message that was like it was waiting. Like they were really waiting for you.
Your boss beats. I'm down for the university. It makes sense. I mean that sounds urgent and quick, but we also have official business it pertain to. We do have something we're doing for real. Plus, you know how I feel about outlaws.
Actually, it's a good point, Shawnee. Let's hit up the Bad
Deal Saloon.
Bad Deal Saloon first, then we'll hit up the university.
All right, let's armor up, or at least me. I'm going to stand out front again.
You're going to stand out front again? I mean, you could go there without your armor and not risk losing the armor.
Well, I'm not worried about risking losing the armor. I just don't feel comfortable in the outlaw district.
You went in last time.
I stood
No,
up
you
front.
didn't. Set up front.
I stood up front and surveyed.
Well, when did the bar fight happen that you...
That was after all of that.
Yeah.
You guys came back near Cozy 6 to that the Elkhorn.
Yeah.
Elkhorn restaurant.
Because I was walking around with Glitter Boy and they wanted it, and I told them they can go fuck themselves and smash the glass on the guy's face.
Well, you weren't walking around the Glitter Boy. The Glitter Boy was back at the
they'd
place.
seen it though. They
You
basically
were,
they knew who I was.
outside of your suit during the bar
So,
fight. That's
the
why I
whole
was
thing
like,
is, as dangerous as the outlaw district is, you're not gonna start shooting that place up, because you've seen the firepower there. Like, people are carrying weapons.
Mm-hmm.
If you took a shot somewhere inside town, you'd maybe last 3 rounds before you were melted.
James isn't walking around in there without the boy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear Play-Doh. Okay. I'll punch you. I don't care. It's not gonna take any shots or anything like that. But I don't know.
So you're not going to participate in the conversation again, is what you're saying.
Probably not.
All right.
Unless you want me to do that.
That's fine.
All right.
Worked out okay last time. Shawnee will talk to Daisy.
I was waiting for it. Dayton talked to you, or Wiley talked to yourself for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what happened last time. Like, I said a couple things to Daisy, but like it was
a tense meeting because she
after
didn't know where you were coming from.
It's true. Maybe I'll get invited in or whatever, but
I still have a -2 charisma unless like Daisy
doesn't give a shit. Most people around here don't, because there is Dog City. It's one of the districts is Dog City.
Right.
You still haven't been to.
So can he drop his -2 charisma, or is that like a core thing?
It's a core thing. It's just I can ignore it as a GM.
Gotcha.
So here it doesn't matter.
All right. I was gonna say because that's me. Like I'm gonna wear this into Outlaw Town. I don't
Now,
like it.
Shawnee's going to say one more thing to all of that. Is you're given that message when you guys came in, but it's also the only message that didn't come in it came cryptically.
Yeah.
You walking around with the Glitter Boy and standing outside the saloon says, "I'm here. Our group is here meeting someone." So there's no... Everyone in town goes, "Hey, that Glitter Boy that came into town went to the Bad Deal Saloon." So they must have met someone.
So I should stand at the edge of Outlaw Town.
I have really an idea. Let's split the party.
What's with her? You go to the university, talk to Wright. No.
I can do that.
Like it's like no, and I'm like, why not?
We're getting bad reception.
I was gonna say it's been blinking in and out. I can see it.
I don't want to stop it. Oh, green.
I'll be right back. Oh, no, we're still here.
Like it saw I was about to disconnect. No. Alright, it seems to be... we're having a bad connection.
Also, I've had some trouble at my own house today, too. Maybe it's the weather or something. I know it sounds stupid because it's not the case, but...
Who knows? We'll push through. Hopefully it's not too bad.
What?
What's this OBS?
Just be like... that stupid noise that happens with these freaks.
Oh, it's because it's recording. Alright. So, what's the plan? Let's get up the next day, got some breakfast.
Sure.
What are you guys doing? Splitting the party?
Shawnee's got a good point. As much as I hate it, I can leave it if we need to be discreet. So it's what do you want to do? Do you want to go to the university first, or do you want to go to the...
I mean, again, he kind of said, I'm okay with splitting the party here. In town, like, I don't feel worried in town.
Yeah.
Like
As a GM, I will only say that splitting parties in town is the fact that that all it does is everyone doesn't get a say in the conversation, and then you have to spend time telling each other what you heard and saw.
That's what keeps happening in D&D.
Right.
I keep going off and doing my own thing, and I have to come back and explain.
And it's like, okay, now I have to take 10 minutes for yours, 10 minutes for yours, and you can't talk to each other. You can't help out.
It also crushes Robert.
Yeah, it absolutely destroys Robert's. Like, he can't sit there for 10 minutes and not talk.
It's great.
He can't do it.
That whole time I was in the
Hi,
jeweler,
Robert.
he's like, try this. I'm like, hey, Robert, try this, try that. I'm like, shh, not here. Let's go see Daisy. I haven't been there before anyway. You can act like I'm a bodyguard or whatever you want to say. I'm just kidding. She knows who I am.
Most likely.
Yeah, let's get in there. I like that
Most
class.
likely.
I'll play bad cop. Or we can go to the university first, or we split the party, whatever you want to say. But seriously, he's right about this splitting the party in the town. Though. That's one back there.
Yeah. Like, outside, it's like, oh, we're splitting the party, and we're going to, like, have combats that are separate. And
So
it's
are
gonna be
you,
dangerous.
are you traveling in your glitter boy armor?
No, I've been talked out of it.
I mean, if
It's
you're
in
walking,
town. He's protected in town. He doesn't need to walk around in it and
if you're
just tell
walking
everyone.
around, I mean,
That point's very good. If we're supposed to be secretly meeting her, showing up in the Glitter Boy tells every single person in the town that I'm here, including the Ironworkers Union, the Power and Water Company, all of Daisy's enemies, all of our enemies, all of our friends, all of her friends. I'm the only Glitter Boy in town.
so I'm not gonna lie, like, we should also be, like, not really, like, splitting the party per se, but, like, we'll enter the bar in intervals. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want to walk in
you're-
the three
yeah,
of us
you're moving-
side by
We can
side,
do
just
that.
like,
Yeah, we can do that.
Dog Boy, Atlantean.
You're treating
Little
this
guy.
as a covert
You know what we
meeting.
could do? She's already talked with you guys. She's never seen my face. I can go in first and sit down and hang out, and then you guys can go meet, and if you need me, I can back you up. I'm still a secret. Like, she knows you guys have a third person, but she doesn't know what he looks like yet.
We still all have comms to each other,
Yeah.
right?
Let's do it like that.
So, I would say, if anything, let
I think you and Shani should go in first because you guys know what she looks like. Make sure everything's ready to go. Go talk to her, and I'll just walk in behind you and scope it out.
Yeah, I mean, well, I still think we should enter one at a time. Like, you know, say Shawnee first. A few minutes later, I'll walk in. At that point, once we
Or I can go in first and
See?
establish my presence. Like,
see where Daisy is at, we can relay to James, like, hey, Daisy's this one. Like,
Here, it'll be
point her
easier.
out because he hasn't seen her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it'll be
that's-
easier. Why don't I go in? I'll sit at the bar. Then you guys come in and do your thing, and I'll be able to observe without having to make any communication. So I'll go in first.
Okay, that's fine. But I want you an earshot of the conversation.
I
is
can
my
move
point.
once you guys get in there. I
Right,
can
but
move
you would
around.
need to know, like,
Well, the person
This is
you
who
guys
we're
sit down and
talking
talk to will be the person that I need to go and listen to.
So you head into the Bad Deal Saloon. Bad Deal Saloon's a pretty big happening place. I wish I could remember where I was at that I'm like modeling this after. Might have been up in Scottsdale near the arena where the hockey was playing. But it's like it's massive, like, you walk in, there's tables everywhere, but there's a central down area where there's a stage, and then there's an area off to the right, or left is a bar, like right is more restaurant. It's a pretty big building. And then there's a second floor which looks down onto the main open floor, like Old West Saloon style.
there definitely was a stage last time we were in here. So.
Yeah, there was
It sounds like
punk rock
Big
playing
Nose
there.
Kate. Have you ever been there in Tombstone, Big Nose Kate's?
I've never been to Tombstone.
You're not missing a whole lot, but it's like that. You walk in, and it's literally like it splits open like a sideways diamond, like that. Like you walk into the front of it, like a square. Sorry, you walk into the corner of a square, and the bar's on the left, and there's stages in the like up in the front, kind of in the center, chairs around it, eating area, and then around the entire top is a second floor with rooms and stuff like that. But it looks down. It's very, very much the classic Old West style.
So, you walk in, head up to the bar, sit down. Woman comes up.
I order a drink and find out it's a bad fucking deal.
What do you have?
I'll try your coffee. I'm just kidding. Whiskey.
All right. She turns around, grabs whiskey, flips up a drink, shot glass, dunk, and gets payment for it.
Go get it. I know I can pay
Yeah,
for it.
it's just
I know it's credit sticks.
credit sticks, swipe, or just proximity. And she kind of leans over and starts chatting you up. I mean, you're an attractive, charismatic guy, so what you doing in town?
So
Blah, blah, blah. You don't seem like you're from around here. I didn't notice you before.
I'm bullshit. Oh, business passing through, doing my thing, selling some wares.
You look around, you don't see anyone that fits the bill for what Daisy was described as last time. There isn't any band playing, there's just a jukebox going off. And the place is actually fairly filled for lunchtime.
There doesn't seem to be like a gang presence. Like that group looks like they're together.
There are several groups of
Several,
that.
okay, cool.
Yeah, there are several people that are like... You also do see that there are some iron workers slumming it in the corner. They're all trying to act tough and all this, and the outlaws are like...
I'll probably do
whatever.
this to those guys. Because I have gotten in a fight with a couple of them.
They're on like the restaurant side.
That's
like
fine,
they're just
yeah.
having lunch. Who knows what. So are you staggering with Shawnee, or are you going at the same time?
Staggered.
Okay, who first?
Shawnee will go first.
All right. So Shawnee saunters up to the bar, down a ways from you, basically down in the corner. Gets a beer and a shot. Just kind of stands there. Looks exotic and mysterious. Several fellas come up and try their hand. She's very pretentious and shoots them down.
Might it help my cover if I pretend to buy her a drink and she turns me down too? We won't lick together. Let's do that. I'll do the same thing. Hey, how you doing? Heck yeah, yeah, cool. Now I fit in perfectly. I think. I'm probably like...
So a server comes up a couple times, like you're near the well, and she as she comes up, she talks, banter with the bartender that's you're talking to, so she banters with you a little bit. One time she comes up and she's like, "It's so dead in here."
I'll be like, Dayton doesn't like it when you stand in the serving section.
But I am a server.
I would probably just shoot the shit and be like, oh, looks busy enough.
Yeah, she'll engage, talk, this and that, and say, I think I'm going to take a break. You want to join me out back for a smoke?
Maybe in a minute. I'm going to finish my listening.
Oh, well, it's right through there.
Okay. You can't abandon my post.
She walks by and brushes up against you. It's been a while.
It's very firefly now.
I dream about dogs. What's up?
It's getting very firefly.
Yeah, right.
The bartender walks up shortly after and is like, ooh, was old Missy flirting with you?
There didn't seem to be anything old about her, but absolutely she was.
You should buy her a drink.
Yeah.
She grabs 2 bottles of beer, puts them in front of you, kind of just like, have at it, big dog.
Hey guys, get in here quick. Something's happening here.
And she walks off. So you have 2 beers in front of you. One of them is for the server.
One's for old Missy.
Missy. Old Missy. You taking that beer to her?
No, I'm waiting for her to come back.
It's like, I mean, I'm not there to tell you what
I know,
to
I'm
do.
trying. I'm having a good
Like
time.
she can't drink it while she's working.
I know, but I'm
So you didn't buy a drink for her if you...
I didn't yet.
You wait.
It's true, but as much as I would love to get her message, I got a job to do. I'm trying really hard. Plus, I don't trust anybody here. Everyone is shifty. I'm gonna hang out at the bar. despite buying a
With
beer.
2 beers sitting in
Two
front of
beers.
You'd also,
Rude.
I'd imagine, wouldn't you be? I'm not gonna play your character for you, but like a little nervous
Yeah.
considering you're out of your suit. You're in
100%, and I'm in
an
outlaw
district
town,
bar, like
and I've got 2 women hitting on me and trying to get me to go outside with one of them, so it's super awkward for me. I'm starting to look less and less like I fit in.
James is still a virgin.
Maybe? I don't know.
So, as you're walking in, Shawnee comes down, grabs the 2 beer balls from in front of you, and walks out back.
Whiskey.
It's like, I don't know about you guys, but this is Daisy's place. That's too overt.
Yeah, right. Go outside. I'm the wrong person for this.
What do you do when you come in?
take a look around, see if I see Daisy herself.
Nope.
I would probably be like,
I'll slowly make my way outside, following Shawnee.
All right. So you head out the back where
whiskey hasn't come fast enough yet.
you can get as many whiskeys as you want.
I'll go outside with my whiskey now.
So as you head back, you haven't heard from Shawnee in a bit, and as you're heading back, you realize why, because you are going through like where it's like employees only, and where like everyone's been pointed to go where Shawnee went. The moment you walk through that, a beam of light, like you break a plane of light around you, and you hear your comm crackle out. So there is a field blocking communications in this area. And you take a couple steps further back when a server, a young girl, blonde, kind of bounces down the hallway. Oh, you here for the poker game? Just 2 doors down off to the right. And she bounces by you.
We should probably go 2 doors down to the right.
Well, you can't communicate that to him. So you're walking back, and you see old Missy bounce out and head backstage, like right outside the employees only, and gone. And you see Beethoven heading down, and he goes into a door, but you're not hearing anything on the radio. And then you cross the threshold.
I'll definitely follow. Probably quicker this time now. Now nefarious things are occurring in my mind.
So heading in back there, all your communication works fine back here between each other. So if you try to ping Johnny, she's like, "Oh yeah, what's taking you guys so long?"
Nervous. My charm and charisma are great, but this is outlaw town. Everybody's
This is
lying.
shady stuff.
Yeah, everybody's a hooker and everybody's a card shark, and I'm very uncomfortable.
You enter into a room, which is like it's a private little poker hall area, except for there's no poker going on. There's one of the tables in the center, has a tablecloth over it, and there's food, people are sitting around eating. Walking back there, you see Daisy, you see a couple other people you don't know. They look like outlaws or brigands or muscle. But the people that are sitting at the table are a couple older folks, and you recognize them from pictures. This looks to be like Grandpa and Grandma Vernon.
Did I see Shawnee during this?
Yeah, and Johnny's in
Okay,
there.
just make sure.
Now sitting down, looking at a menu, having pleasantries with Ma and Pa Vernon. You enter. They all look up at you. Daisy just gives you a little, "Hey, welcome back. Have some fun times out there in the plains."
You could say that. What's this whole little gathering all about?
Well, seeing as how you set off looking for the Vernons, and then Mom and Pa showed up, I thought I should talk to you guys if you ever came back. And here you are. Have a seat. You want to order some food?
This place have steak fingers?
They do have steak fingers.
I was like, it's only steak fingers.
And then you walk in to see all of this.
And I wouldn't recognize
Nope.
Mom and Pa Vernon because I didn't see the pictures. So.
And Shawnee doesn't either, but she seems to have been introduced.
Gotcha.
I was like, I would recognize him, but I wouldn't like let on that like I know who these two are.
When you walk in, you see like he looks over at you.
Who's he?
The elderly gentleman sitting at the table with his Reuben, and he looks over at Daisy. And he says, "Is that him?" He goes, "Yeah." So like he stands up, wipes off his hands. You're there, pilot of that glitter boy, aren't you?
James McKellar.
And put her there.
J.O.
J.O.
J.O. Vernon and Georgia Vernon.
J.O. Vernon, it is a pleasure to meet you. That is a mighty machine you pilot there, and we're glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
Wait, have a seat.
I'm still very wary. But
You see Daisy. Daisy is a partial conversion Borg.
They've described Daisy to me, so I think I'd probably be able to recognize her pretty easily. If
The rest of the people in here seem to be muscle that are just kind of watching out for the Vernons.
Her implants are obvious, right? Like it's external. She's pretty crushed, right?
Yeah, she got. You see, like besides the fact of where she got replaced, arms, legs, and all that, you could see scarring on the other parts of her. So she's been through some shit. So you guys all sit down, and Mom and Pa Vernon introduce themselves. You obviously know them.
I know who they are.
Yeah, you recognize them.
I want to apologize to the damage to your scarecrow ahead of time.
I'll have one of my scarecrow. That's their Thaddeus's, not Thaddeus's. Percival's. Percival put that up as a, I don't know, guard dog or what have you. I mean, I told him he should just make a guard dog if he wants a guard dog.
We'd also like to apologize for the Eastern Field.
Oh, those wombats come back?
Much meaner this time than I bet they were before.
Then witches get to them?
I think so. The Beats saw one of the actual witches.
That's the one thing about living in Kansas is all the damn witches.
Am I right? I think.
Pardon my French. Pardon my language. Lady, Shawnee. Well, now.
I like how it's Shawnee and Daisy, but not his wife.
He did. And
obviously.
Georgia. So I messed up the name.
Horrible name.
Georgia.
She lived in Oklahoma, but her name is Georgia.
Right.
That's her real name.
Oh, you seen my kids?
We haven't. We've been looking for them for quite some time now.
Yeah, well, they're stirring up all kinds of trouble. Or trouble's finding them, I guess.
Well, we've been digging through the wake. Swimming through the wake? Can't dig through the wake. Ever. So, I'm nervous.
So you guys order some food, and you can question, talk, and do whatever you want with Daisy and the Vernons.
Sure. Well, I probably would ask the Vernons outright, like, y'all seen Buddy there's Praxis?
No, I heard lots about him, though.
So have we.
That was the code phrase for that scarecrow that Percival put up. Had to be a friend of Praxis to get by.
We tried your name 3 times and it blew up.
I told him it was just going to hurt someone innocent. You guys all right?
We're all right. And we're far from innocent, by the way. We was trespassing on your land.
I hope you gave those wombats what for.
You did a little
I told that Percival time and time again, you got to find that nest, get down in there.
Well, they gave me a chewing, but we got them taken care of. You wouldn't happen to know which way your boys were headed last time you saw them. Was the last time you saw them at the farm?
Yep, they came and got us. So the witches were closing in. Something about some conspiracy that they've uncovered at the Coleman and Touch.
Well, we saw the Coleman in touch as well, and whatever conspiracy was happening there was definitely fulfilled.
George was like, I never did like that DCP&W.
DCP&W, did it have something to do with the Coleman in touch?
Well, that's what my boys said. They were somehow involved in all this. And I think it was a right good choice that we never sided with their homesteaders. Didn't put up one of their generators in our farm.
Oops. Would it make you feel better to know I knocked down half the buildings on their farm?
I mean, that factory farm was always a thorn in our sides. Good family farms all around, trying to get by. They all incorporate up and try to cut ties with us. It's like with us unioners, and get along with the black market.
I will say that in our haste, we didn't see any generators.
You did.
Well, no, we left it. You kind of hinted at the fact that the energy was coming from that building, but we followed the tracks and didn't interact or even go in there to look at it.
No, but you saw where the generator was.
Okay, so
they're saying they never had one.
Perfect. So we didn't interact with the generator at all.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it was already blown up.
So okay, then I would say we only saw the aftermath of the generator. What kind of generator was it? Why wouldn't you want one on your farm? Sounds like free power, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. But then they get you.
How do they get you?
Well, he can go on for days about the
conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theories of all of them, but now apparently somehow they're getting co-opted by the witches and used to do all kinds of unsavory things.
What's this black market you were talking about?
Man, you are picking up on all the weirdest details of this. So you know the black market. You worked for them and got transport. Well, actually, you don't. Iggy does. The black market is the black market. So Coleman in touch, and through the next half hour, you get the entire rundown.
Banging it through.
Yeah. So all the family farms, all the farmsteads.
What about those pictures we saw in your living room? Those are us. How did you get a picture of you on the wall? Did you draw it?
All the farms around here are unionized, essentially, for the family.
And
so that
everyone that's got the generators are having witches are coming in and kind of taking over.
No.
See,
so,
I'm not getting this.
I'm going to teach you about the economy of Kansas and DCP&W. So the family farms are unionized. So they don't step on each other selling produce. And there's no undercutting. Mm-hmm. They get together. They set prices and all that kind of stuff. DCP&W is very big on so as a completely separate thing than the family farm union. DCP&W goes out in homesteads, which says, "Hey, we'll set up a generator on your farm and maintain it. Blah blah blah. You just pay us X amount of this, or give us this much crop, or let us do something else on your land. Run power lines through it to the next farm, and yada yada yada." Mm-hmm. So homesteading is different than the family union with pricing. There's just the farmers union is just for keeping, watching each other's back.
These are already steaded, so new homesteaders are taking new lands, making new farms.
Well, the Coleman in Touch factory farmed. So they brought on workers, but to generate more money, they left the family union and they started basically getting their backing from the black market.
Trying to ice them out.
So they were trying to corporatize, to that. Now, all of that is to say, all the families can or don't get with DCP&W. That's just something people do. And it used to be that, the Vernons had strong opinions against them, and that's personal. You're seeing that it's very personal that when you get Geo up on it... Geo? Is that
Georgia.
No, his...
J.O., sorry.
J.O. J.O. lost his daughter. She was a techno wizard.
Yeah.
And she went nuts and went up on the rise and never came back. And he blames, and she used to work for DCP&W, so he blames them. So he doesn't like DCP&W for personal reasons. He also, and then he had his son, and who was also a techno wizard that took care of the farm on his own, so he didn't need DCP&W.
Gotcha. All right.
But now you're also thinking that DCP&W is either part of the conspiracy or their homesteading generators are being used by the witches.
Perfect. So that's what I meant by there. It was everywhere that the generators are happening. At least the witches are being drawn to them, even if they're not Sorry, they're either being drawn to them or are part of the whole aspect of it. So, yeah, I got you. I said that wrong.
That's all that.
Gotcha. That's all that.
Anything else you want to talk about? They did bring up the rise.
They did bring up the rise. So,
Like, yeah, what the hell's the rise?
we could say it a little nicer. You all know where the rise is at?
So they explain the rise, and Daisy also comes in on this.
Well, I would start with, the witches said that we should check the rise for the vermins for your boys.
Oh, like J-O?
J-O. Oh, yeah, J-O. Like
J-O.
the letters J.
J-O.
and O, yeah.
J-O, like
James
rankles,
Oliver Vernon,
like he visibly gets upset. First off, that there's a witch on his property. Second off, that she was taunting, taking the boys. All right, so the rise. Let me read what I have.
J-O's written this down.
No, and this is like between Daisy and all of them.
Yeah.
You get this. And the most unusual feature in Kansas is the rise, also called the wall, and many other names by the locals. In the western edge of Kansas, the earth has fissured and risen 1,000 feet into the air, creating a wall of sheer stone and earth the entire north-south stretch of the state. A perpetual and catastrophic ley-line storm sits atop this plateau. So far, no attempts to survey or divine what is on top of the rise have succeeded. Despite this, several communities of magical scholars and adventurers have sprouted up near the rise to study it.
I know what that is, too.
Yeah.
Not me.
They talk about the dreams, saying that around here, lots of folks get dreams about the rise. Some of them nightmares, some of them more hopeful, but they all end the same way, and that's in tragedy. And J.O. was really big on that because he lost his daughter to it. Yeah. And now he's losing more. Like, he could potentially lose more. And you also find out that he knows exactly where his sons went. So they brought some strange woman with them. Marquise or Marquises, the Marquesa.
Wait, I don't know that. Sorry.
Real quiet girl. Something strange and off about her, though. And Percival, he got on a bike with her on the back and ran off towards the rise. And I hope he doesn't try to follow his mother in his footsteps. Thaddeus, he went to find that praxis that you guys talked about. He went back up to Elks Lodge, looking for some. It's like Praxis and some other cyber knight that are apparently up there hiding in an invisible mountain.
Thorpe?
That sounds right, yeah.
We have actually learned that name.
I was
That's
just
not-
learning
that name.
It's like, that's not like
There's
a
no
fair
way.
knowledge
I get it.
thing.
I'm just like, there's no
I
way
was
you
like,
guessed
shit.
Thorpe. So it sounds like we have two choices now.
Yeah,
The brothers are
so he-
split up. One's to an invisible mountain and one's to a very visible, scary mountain.
Oh, and besides Praxis, Deus was also going to go. He was going back to get Praxis, Thorpe, and Jax.
Well, we should probably, as much as I want to follow Percival, it sounds like we should probably take the Deus route because he's got Praxis with him, who's what we're tasked with finding.
And Shawnee's like, it seems like the rise is a little bit more pressing.
Well, it seems like it's a little more dangerous.
It's true.
It's visible, though. It's not invisible like it is with Praxis.
I mean,
It might be easier to track down Percival.
characters absolutely like. I'm about going the Thaddeus route with Praxis and because that's why we're in Kansas, more or
To
less.
find Praxis. It's true.
Um,
You're getting a little bit embroiled into more and more
and
deeper
I was
stuff.
creepily told by a witch
To go to the rise.
not only to go at the rise, but did she also say like I'll see you like later or something like that?
Kind of, yeah.
Pretty much.
And that doesn't settle well with me.
Well, if
I don't want to be hanging out with this.
If a witch tells you she's going to see you later, it sounds like it doesn't matter which way you go. She's like, you should go to the rise, but I'll see you later. Like, she'll see you
No matter what you choose.
on the route to Thaddeus. Thaddeus and Percival, horrible names. That was the best. I loved it.
Thaddeus and Percival Vernon, out on a corn farm in the middle of Kansas.
And Jo and Georgia are my mom's dad's actual parents, my great grandparents. Georgia died at 86, but Jo lived to 102.
A wild bandy appears. All right, so you got a lot of information. Do you also speak about the people that have been contacting you to talk?
I was gonna say, I'm uncomfortable talking about the whole outlaw thing, but that's not true. I might if the Vernons are upset about the Dodge City Power and Water, I'd probably be like, yeah, Matilda and Nina tried to get a hold of us, Miss Red, Miss Key. What's a technocrat?
Well, they'll tell you that too. So, first off, when you say Matilda Red, Georgia scoffs. That witch, she says, like, offhanded.
Like an actual witch, or...
No, she might as well be. She's a crone. She wants to run everything. She's the one that ran my little girl out.
Is that what you guys call that?
No. Mother.
No, I don't.
Yeah. So apparently Matilda Red is head of the power grid, which is the power for Dodge City. Like, it keeps all the lights on and all that stuff. It's one of the most prominent positions in Dodge City Power and Water, and she lords it over. Like, she says that woman's never paid for a meal in her life type thing. Like, she just abuses her power and tries to jockey for position and hold things over people because she's, the most powerful person in DCP&W. And then you find out that Nina Key is the head of DCP&W. Though, like, everyone would say Matilda Red has more clout, Nina Key actually is the one that runs it. So the technocrat is the current head of DCP&W.
Gotcha. So she's probably the one that's actually keeping the lights on, but Matilda's deciding who gets lights, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And there's a couple divisions. Power grid is energy. Waterworks is more mundane, but keeping the water flowing. Homesteading is putting the generators out in the farms and networking them all up. Research and development. So yeah, Nina Key, head of DCP&W, and Matilda Red is head of Power Grid.
All right.
They don't like, and it seems like no one likes Matilda Red. And what else? Talked about Wright.
It was right, but I mean, we worked with Reggie a couple times already on a lot of things. The other
they
one
don't trust, the Vernons don't trust the ley line walkers too much, but
Foreman Tund was the other one from Ironworkers Union.
They don't know him.
Yes, they probably wouldn't have any interaction with him.
And Daisy will tell you, like, oh, I think I met that guy once. He's real, he's a desk jockey, bureaucrat, bully. You don't waste your time on anyone that has a foreman in their title. They're just squad leaders.
I'm familiar with that. Well, I think we had just about all we need. We just have to make some decisions at this point about what we're going to do next.
And I would say we still might as well go to the university and talk with Reggie Wright.
Reggie Wright. Maybe skip meeting with the people from DCP&W. Or if you want to get your own take on them.
I was going to say, I kind of want to like to look people in the eye, but at the same time, they sound pretty shitty, especially coming from the Vernons.
And they don't, obviously they're biased. They do not like the organized techno-wizards of this place.
Yeah.
That's what drove my daughter away.
Right.
Right. Well, we got 15 minutes left. We're not going to get any other major things done.
That's actually a good
point. You guys have got some decisions to make. Maybe you'll have a meeting with the university. Maybe you won't. Most likely. But we can get that done next week. So, and our stream health is not very good.
Yeah. It's been weird outside lately. Yeah. I was going to say, same thing at my house. Our internet's been shoddy for the last 2 days.
Well, thanks for tuning in. We will be on tomorrow night streaming D&D. along with Robert and Mitch and Dayton and myself. Thank you for watching the Wileyverse.